Chapter 865. Return to the tower. Qin Yun has finally seized back the dragon and phoenix martial spirit, but his heart is still heavy. Because the curse of Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi requires the blood of immortal dragon to remove. Long Yutsang said that they need immortal dragon old ancestors' blood. Qin Yun doesn't know whether Long Bei's blood is good or not. He also wants to go find Long Bei and ask, "Brother." Long Yutsang saw Qin Yun suddenly become unstable and promptly went over to support him. Then he asked Bai Keqian to carry the unconscious Xian Rujing. "We are leaving." Long Yutsang carried the injured Qin Yun on his back and left the battle stage. Both Qin Yun and Xian Rujing also suffered injuries from the fight. Although Qin Yun was able to last until the end, his injuries were very serious. The moment he relaxed, he could no longer hold on. The exhaustion and pain made it difficult for him to stand firmly. Previously, he had relied entirely on his willpower to hold on. Long Chuanwu, who has been crippled, is receiving treatment at the side of the battle stage. He woke up now and saw Xian Rujing being carried by Bai Keqian. He promptly yelled, "Rujing! Where are they taking Rujing? Rujing is my fiancée, and I still need to rely on her to cultivate my immortal meridians. She is wearing the slave governing collar, she is that Baldy's slave." A heavenly dragon sect old man said with cold snort. Long Chuanwu made them lose their dragon spirit and now he has been crippled. Although they feel heartache, they are also very angry because all of this was brought upon by Long Chuanwu himself. "What? My fiancé is someone else's slave? Rujing, my immortal meridian, my life is so bitter." Long Chuanwu immediately felt endless grief. He was crippled and his fiancée became someone else's slave. This caused him to feel incomparably unwell. He coughed crazily and coughed out a large amount of blood. Long Chuanwu coughed up blood and fainted. "Elder, he can't hold on any longer. His mind is muddled from anger, and his heart vessels have been shattered." A middle-aged man said in a low voice. "Then let him die. Wastrel." The elder said angrily. "Then, how are we going to explain this to the higher-ups?" The middle-aged man was also helpless. I don't care anymore. He was the one who threw away the dragon soul. We have to think of a way to get it back." The elder said. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing were brought back to Long Yutsang's residence. Inside a very spacious room, Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are lying on a large bed. Both of them are sleeping. It was Bai Keqian who took care of them. She changed them into clean clothes and let them sleep on the same bed. She only left the room after seeing that their injuries were stabilized. Qin Yun did not know how long he slept, but he was suddenly awakened by Ling Yun. "Xiao Yun, Xian Rujing is lying beside you, she is hugging you. She is your female slave, you can do whatever you want to her, he." Ling Yun said with a smirk. "Yuner, don't let your imagination run wild. I put that collar on her just for fun. I will take it off later, that collar is very precious," Qin Yun said. At this time, Xian Rujing woke up in a daze. She is indeed hugging Qin Yun to sleep. One of her long legs is still on Qin Yun's body. After she woke up, she suddenly thought of something. She remembered that she had lost and was knocked unconscious. She sat up abruptly. She discovered that there is a Baldy holding his upper body lying beside her. It is the Baldy she hates the most. Xian Rujing's hair is disheveled. She is wearing loose pajamas. She promptly checked her body and found that it is not being possessed. She immediately felt relieved. Slave governing collar. This bastard put slave governing collar on me. He is serious. Wretched bastard, wretched Baldy. Thinking about this matter, Xian Rujing's beautiful eyes became moist. She started crying in grief. Qin Yun opened his eyes and saw Xian Rujing crying. He hastily said, "I did not do anything to you. I did not even touch you, it was you who hugged me to sleep. Damn Baldy, I will bite you to death." Xian Rujing shouted, then sat on Qin Yun's body and bit his left chest. Ice Mother Tigress, shut up. Quickly let go of me, don't force me to use Dragon Claw Hand. Qin Yun screamed in pain. Xian Rujing is clearly throwing caution to the wind. She is biting Qin Yun's left chest with all her might. Qin Yun has no choice but to use his self-taught consummate skill, Dragon Claw Hand, to grab Xian Rujing. Although Xian Rujing sensed it, she still did not let go and firmly bit Qin Yun's left chest. At this time, Long Yutsong and Bai Kexin rushed in. They saw Xian Rujing sitting on Qin Yun's thigh and biting his left chest, and immediately smiled ambiguously. You guys continue, you guys continue. Bai Kexin's face turned red and she promptly left the room. After Long Yutsong closed the door, Xian Rujing also let go. Qin Yun also let go and said in anger, Ice Mother Tigress, do you want to eat me? Xian Rujing tidied up her clothes and said with a sobbing tone, I have already become someone else's slave, what meaning is there in my life? Before I die, I will skin you alive. Qin Yun promptly put on his clothes and said, It was you who wanted to bet with me, you must be willing to lose. You can't blame others. Xian Rujing really did not expect that she would lose. With her strength, it would be very difficult for her to lose. But she did not expect that Qin Yun's body and mental power would be so strong. He actually used a sneak attack and knocked her unconscious. Actually, Qin Yun's nether moon was almost cracked by Xian Rujing's attack. Even now, his nether moon has not completely recovered. It can be seen that Xian Rujing's mental power is also very strong. If I become your slave, you will surely bully me very cruelly in the future. You bullied me just now, you scratched me so painfully. Xian Rujing no longer has that cold and aloof fairy appearance. She now looks like a girl who has suffered grievances, her eyes are dripping with tears. Because of that collar, Xian Rujing doesn't dare to kill Qin Yun, otherwise she will also die. Moreover, if Qin Yun wants, he can make her soul suffer. Alright, Big Sister Rujing, I am that surnamed Yun, I just wanted to play around with you, I will take it off now. Qin Yun said with smile. Xian Rujing looked at the baldy in front of her and is immediately stunned. After being stunned for a while, she cried even more miserably with a wah sound. Qin Yun promptly went over and comforted her. Big Sister Rujing, I will take off the slave governing collar, don't cry. I am truly that surnamed Yun. We entered the depths of the dragon cave and obtained that mysterious Tao technique. You bastard, turtle egg, why didn't you say so earlier? Xian Rujing loudly cried and bit Qin Yun's shoulder. Why are you biting me again? We are on the same side, don't bite me. Qin Yun yelled in low voice. He doesn't dare to grab Xian Rujing again. Xian Rujing bit for a while and then let go. She also calmed down, wiped her tears and said while sobbing, That slave governing collar, after I put it on, I can never take it off, my soul will be together with it forever. After Qin Yun heard this, he forced a smile and said, I will not truly enslave you. You will still be free later. You bastard, why didn't you say so earlier if you are that surnamed Yun? Earlier you used that dragon claw to grab me twice. You deliberately wanted to take advantage of me. Xian Rujing sat on the bed and cursed while crying. I just didn't want to expose my identity. Who knows if you would cooperate with me or not? What if you exposed me? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Then give me some compensation, give me that dragon spirit. Xian Rujing stopped crying and said with a charming groan, That won't do. Qin Yun promptly shook his head, then said in deadly earnest, How about this, I will use my body to compensate you. Scram! Xian Rujing shouted. Qin Yun sat on the bedside and said, Long Chuanwu is already crippled. You already didn't want him as your fiancé. I helped you get rid of him, and you still haven't thanked me. Xian Rujing cursed in low voice. Those Regent Origin stones you took from me, consider it my thanks to you. Qin Yun laughed and said, I will return those Regent Origin stones to you. Xian Rujing's Regent Origin Stones are not very important to Qin Yun now because he still has King Energy Origin Pills and Regent Origin Stones that other people lost to him. Xian Rujing promptly took a storage bag, looked inside and said again, "What about Dragon and Phoenix Martial Spirit? What use do you have for them? If you have no use for them, give them to me." Truth be told, I infiltrated the Dragon King Manor because of the Dragon and Phoenix Martial Spirit. Qin Yun let out a long sigh and then informed Xian Rujing about the origin of the Dragon and Phoenix Martial Spirit. After Xian Rujing heard this, she also didn't want it. "Alright, I want to go to 9 Dragon Devil Prison. I could not defeat that guy from 9th floor. He only let me out to participate in the martial arts competition. I still have to fulfill my promise and go back." Qin Yun said, "You will be free from now on." Xian Rujing got down from the bed, took out a light blue long skirt and put it on. Her cold and arrogant noble temperament has returned. "Don't you die inside. I am not worried about you, I am worried about myself," Xian Rujing said in cold voice. Qin Yun immediately thought of the slave governing collar. If he dies, Xian Rujing will surely be affected. "Relax, I won't die. Do you want to continue staying in Dragon King Manor? Or do you want to take a stroll outside?" Qin Yun asked. "I will wait for you to come out. I want to use Regent Origin Stones to cultivate and become peak stage Martial King," Xian Rujing said. "Alright." Qin Yun nodded. Both of them left the room. Long Yutsong and Bai Keqian saw them, but they did not ask anything, they only greeted them. "Old brother, I still want to take a trip to 9 Dragon Devil Prison. I promised Long Bei that after the martial arts competition is over, I will return," Qin Yun said. "What? This? How long will it take?" Long Yutsong asked in amazement. "I don't know, I might be imprisoned for a very long time." Qin Yun shook his head. "Alright, I will inform grandfather." Long Yutsong nodded. Qin Yun left Long Yutsong's residence alone and rushed towards 9 Dragon Devil Prison. Xian Rujing asked for a secret cultivation room from Long Yutsong and entered seclusion inside. Not long after, Qin Yun arrived at the bottom of 9 Dragon Devil Prison. He took out the command token and flew towards the 9th floor. When he approached, he was sucked in. As soon as Qin Yun entered the 9th floor, he saw the gray-clothed Long Bei. "Senior, I have returned," Qin Yun said. "I am somewhat surprised that you can return, I thought you would run away." Long Bei opened his eyes and laughed. "Even if you ran away, I would not be able to catch you." Chapter 866. Hunter Totem. Hearing Qin Yun's words, Long Bei chuckled and said, "You are not a Long family member, yet you are pretending to be a Long family member to sneak in. Moreover, you have mastered Extinction Dragon Palm. I don't trust your integrity. Tell me honestly, you did not just leave and came to 9 Dragon Devil Prison. What is your purpose?" Qin Yun thought that if he truly left Dragon King Manor, this Long Bei would not be able to do anything to him. But he still came to 9 Dragon Devil Prison. He indeed has a purpose. "Senior, I have 2 friends who have been afflicted by a curse. It was placed by a Long family elder. According to my information, it requires immortal dragon's blood to remove the curse," Qin Yun said. "It seems like you know that I am an immortal dragon?" Long Bei said. Qin Yun nodded and said, "Senior, you suppressed your cultivation, it is impossible to see through your immortal dragon. It was some Long family elders outside who told me, only then did I know." Long Bei walked to a window, looked outside and said with long sigh, "My cultivation has been suppressed by others. It is to prevent me from entering Immortal Desolate. The curse you mentioned can't be removed with my blood." Qin Yun also heard that Long Bei is a captured dragon. His strength is restricted to a certain extent. Moreover, he has deep resentment towards Dragon King Manor. He was captured and locked up here to protect the Dragon King Manor. "Why?" Qin Yun asked. "That's because I wasn't the one who created that curse. It is created by another immortal dragon. He is the strongest existence. Long Bei's voice is filled with sorrow. I am not that immortal dragon's match. Could it be that there is no other way? Qin Yun is also somewhat sad. Long Bei looked at Qin Yun and said, unless you become the strongest half-immortal and use Extinction Dragon Palm to defeat him, you will not have any chance to obtain his blood. Qin Yun let out a sad sigh and said, Senior, how is your grandson Wulong now? Long Bei said, I will guide him for a few days. If he really cannot block Extinction Dragon Palm, I will not force him. Qin Yun thought for a bit and asked again, Senior, what is going on with that bloody evil dragon cave below Dragon King Manor? That's an underworld. You went there? Long Bei was somewhat surprised. Some time ago I went in with a group of people. Qin Yun simply explained the situation below to Long Bei. The bloody evil dragon cave was built by a devil dragon of the Long family. That devil dragon is still down there. In order to lure people in, he placed a precious Tao technique there, causing many Long family people to take the risk to enter. Long Bei tightly frowned while talking about this matter. Mystic dragon? How strong is he? Qin Yun is secretly startled. He and Xian Rujing entered the depths of the devil dragon before, but they did not encounter it. He has the same strength as an immortal, but he only dares to hide below. Once they come out, they will be sucked into the immortal desolate. He is a devil dragon. If he enters immortal desolate and carelessly enters immortal's territory, he will be captured. Long Bei said. Does that devil dragon have a good relationship with the Long family? Qin Yun curiously asked. Some of the Long family's dragons are captured by them, some willingly cooperated with them and promised to protect them. And I was captured, moreover I was captured in Immortal Desolate and brought to this place. That was a matter of many years ago. Recalling this matter, Long Bei's expression is filled with grief and indignation. Senior, you are so strong, how can you be controlled? Qin Yun asked in amazement. When I was captured, I was still a little dragon, brought to Spirit Desolate by heavenly dragon sect people. They put on the beast governing collar. Even though it is a very low-quality beast governing collar, it is enough to shackle my soul and let them control my life and death. Long Bei somewhat helplessly said. What grade is the beast governing collar? Qin Yun's eyes lit up and hastily asked. Long Bei pulled up his sleeve and saw that there is a light golden bracelet on his wrist. It is the beast governing collar. Dao Tool level. Qin Yun faintly smiled. I might be able to break this toy. I have never dared to try breaking it because if something goes wrong, I will die. Long Bei shook his head. Then who is controlling your soul now? Qin Yun asked. It has always been the Dragon King Manor's Manor Master. I have not seen him for many years, he must be in seclusion. Long Bei said. Senior, if I help you break this beast governing collar, can you help me get the blood of that immortal dragon? Qin Yun asked. If you truly help me break free from other people's control, of course I will be happy to help you. It will be very difficult for me to kill that immortal dragon but injure him and get some blood. Long Bei shook his head and smiled. But it is impossible for you to help me break free from this beast governing collar. Why are you so sure? Qin Yun curled his lips and said. I won't let you try. If I try to break the beast governing collar, my soul will be in great pain. It will be a kind of life worse than death. I don't want to try it again. Long Bei said. Qin Yun also feels that Heavenly Dragon Sect has some skill. They can actually subdue this immortal dragon. Long Bei entered the 8th floor to guide Wulong's cultivation. Wulong is not Long Bei's real grandson. He is only a little dragon brought in by Heavenly Dragon Sect. Later he made a mistake in his cultivation and was thrown into this 9-dragon devil prison. Qin Yun reported the situation to Xiao Yueme inside the 9-sun divine soul. Xiao Yueme is also thinking of a countermeasure. After a while, Xiao Yueme said, Brother, if you can convince Long Bei to let little Mo help him break free from the beast governing collar, he will be able to deal with the other immortal dragon. At that time, you and I will have the opportunity to capture that immortal dragon. Qin Yun feels that it will be very difficult and said, getting the blood of that immortal dragon will be very good. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. Brother, this Dragon King Manor is not like Immortal Weapon Palace. There is a barrier in Immortal Weapon Palace that allows immortals to move freely inside, but Dragon King Manor does not. Qin Yun has been wondering about this problem before, but now he understands. Because the two immortal dragons have a secret technique to suppress their cultivation, they are not sucked into Immortal Desolate. In other words, when the time comes, the immortal dragon they will face will at most be sixth tribulation half-immortals. Brother, I will give you the blueprint of a flag formation. It is specially used to seal dragons. Xiao Yuemei said. Blueprint? Did you use that formation frequently in your past life? Where did you get it? Qin Yun asked. The blueprint is in my memory. In my past life, you helped me refine it. I have memorized the process of making that formation. I can use my mirror to show you the things in my memory. When the time comes, you should be able to understand. Xiao Yuemei giggled and said, All right. Qin Yun can only do as Xiao Yuemei says. First, he persuaded Long Bei to try breaking the beast governing collar. Long Bei doesn't want to try because he is afraid that if the collar is destroyed, he will die. These past few days, Qin Yun has been looking at a mirror. It is precisely Xiao Yuemei's mirror. Through the mirror, Qin Yun can see that his past life is very attentively carving runes on some small flags. Most of them are star and moon runes, as well as a sun rune and then some totem runes. Whether it is star and moon runes, sun runes or totem runes, they are all very complex. If it were only star and moon runes, Qin Yun would have no problem, but the sun rune is not something he can carve right now. Very difficult, Qin Yun said with frown. Brother, which one is the most difficult? Xiao Yuemei asked. Sun rune. That sun rune is not something I can carve right now. That totem rune is fine, but what kind of totem is it? Qin Yun cannot understand the totem for a moment. Hunter totem. This kind of totem power is very effective against all kinds of beasts. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. What about the sun rune? I can't carve it now. Qin Yun said. Didn't you say that Long Yutsong's grandfather is a very awesome inscription master? He should be able to carve it. You should think of a way to have a chat with him. Just consider it as giving him the sun rune. Xiao Yuemei said. What kind of sun rune is that? Qin Yun did not expect that Xiao Yuemei would have this kind of sun rune in her memory. Beast governing sun rune. Xiao Yuemei said, In order to catch a dragon, I spent great effort to give it to you. So you are giving it to Long Tsangxing just like that? Qin Yun asked. You are not a beast. Even if you give him this kind of sun rune, he will not use it on you. Moreover, according to your description, this guy has enmity with Long family and Heavenly Dragon sect people. You can rope him in, Xiao Yuemei said with evil smile. Qin Yun can only memorize the sun rune. After leaving 9 Dragon Devil prison, he will go find Long Tsangxing to discuss this matter. Now the most important thing is to deal with Long Bei. He is a very powerful helper. Several days passed by. Long Bei brought Wu Long up. As soon as Wu Long saw Qin Yun, his handsome face filled with arrogance became filled with cold anger. Grandfather, this time I will surely defeat this guy. Wu Long looked at Qin Yun with complete confidence. Just as Qin Yun is considering whether or not he should throw the fight, he heard Long Bei say, Little demon, don't let Wu Long win, you must defeat him to leave 9 Dragon Devil prison. All right, I will defeat him. Qin Yun is also filled with confidence. Although Wu Long is very strong and he is a dragon, Qin Yun's power is specialized in restraining dragons. Even if he faces a dragon with higher cultivation, he can still put up a fight. Wu Long has been learning how to block Extinction Dragon Palm these past few days. Now that he can finally fight against Qin Yun, he is very excited. Baldy, last time I lost to you because I was not prepared enough. This time, I will make you suffer a crushing defeat. Wu Long is very impatient to fight. He signaled Long Bei to start the fight. Long Bei said, Wu Long, you must remember my words, as long as you properly defend against his Extinction Dragon Palm, you will not lose. Chapter 867. Meeting Evil God again. Long Bei saw that Wu Long is still so complacent, he can only shake his head and sigh, then loudly shouted, Begin! The battle has begun. From the beginning, Wu Long covered his body with dragon scales, making him look like he was wearing a set of golden armor. Wu Long's arms also turned into dragon claws. While rushing over, a long golden tail appeared behind his waist. This is the dragon transformation state. Wu Long himself is a dragon, so he can very easily enter this state. This is also very strong because he can borrow the power of a dragon. Qin Yun saw Wu Long rushing over and released supergravity and suffering divine ability power. They transformed into transparent energy wave and rushed towards Wu Long. The dragon scales released by Wu Long are very strong. They can actually resist the attack of suffering divine ability power and supergravity. Although he could block it, the speed at which he rushed over had also become much slower. Bastard! Wu Long felt a resistance and furiously shouted. Bursts of energy burst out from his body and pushed back the supergravity. And Qin Yun suddenly disappeared. He used passing shadow extinction breath and appeared several tens of meters behind Wu Long. He joined his two fingers together and pointed at Wu Long's back. Bang! Thunderclap trembling sound echoed. Qin Yun's two fingers shot out a black light that is like lightning and attacked Wu Long's back. He used piercing mountain-splitting earth finger. After many of the dragon scales on Wu Long's back were hit, they suddenly exploded into many fragments. His body flew forward and hit the wall. The dragon scales on Wu Long's back flew off, but very soon they grew back again. Qin Yun promptly rushed over and released a gravity wave to continue pressuring Wu Long. Then he engaged in close combat and unleashed Forging Dragon 6 style. Boom boom boom! Each of Qin Yun's punches are filled with great momentum. They are like gale and huge waves, mountains crumbling and earth splitting. The explosive punches are like hammerheads smashing down, giving rise to burst of violent thunder and violent energy wave. They smashed down on Wu Long's back again and again. Long Bei slightly frowned seeing this and said in low voice, This human is actually hiding such formidable power inside his body. Could it be that he was born to be a dragon hunter specialized in restraining dragons? Waves of explosions echoed in the 9th floor. Wu Long is being oppressed by Qin Yun to the point that he is completely powerless to resist. He can only loudly roar and shout. Qin Yun did not use the Extinction Dragon Palm. Instead, he used the power of the Heavenly Lion. Through the Heavenly Lion Totem martial arts, he secretly displayed the Heavenly Lion's lightning force and struck out with the 6th-style Forging Dragon. Long Bei looked for a while, then his pupils suddenly shrunk. It's Heavenly Lion martial arts. How many restraining techniques does this guy have? At the beginning, Wu Long was very confident, but not long after, he was beaten until he cried out in pain. Qin Yun's fists kept bombarding Wu Long's face, causing his face to become deformed and many dragon scales scattered on the ground. Wu Long is not Qin Yun's match. I lost, I admit defeat. Wu Long loudly howled while crying. Although he admitted defeat, he was still sent flying by Qin Yun's punch and hit the wall. Damn Baldy, I've already admitted defeat. Why are you still hitting me? Wu Long loudly shouted, tears and blood mixed together on his face. If you have guts, wait for me for 200 years, see how I will kill you. Qin Yun looked at Long Bei, spread out his hands and said, Sorry, I won again. At this time, Wu Long's eyes suddenly turned red, His expression became malevolent and he loudly shouted, "Damn Baldy, I want to kill you, I want to kill you! I want to become a devil dragon, I want to obtain formidable evil power. Evil God, please bestow me power." After Long Bei saw this, he promptly walked over and knocked Wu Long unconscious with one palm strike. He let out a long sigh in heartache and said, "This little guy, because he was defeated by others before, he was not willing to admit defeat and walked to the extreme. He let evil God possess his body and obtained formidable evil power, then started a massacre. Qin Yun still has evil God's devil horn. He is already used to this kind of thing. He only feels that evil God is truly everywhere. Could it be that there is no cure?" Qin Yun said, "As long as one is infected by evil God's evil poison, there is no cure. We can only restrain it." Long Bei helplessly sighed and said, "Wu Long has completely fallen into the evil devil Tao, unless we can purify his soul that has been corrupted by evil God." Qin Yun said, "Evil God is truly evil. It is everywhere." Apparently some people even researched a sacrificial ritual to summon evil God's possession. That kind of sacrificial ritual is very vicious. One must kill many people to succeed. Long Bei said, "Senior, you just said purify the soul that has been corrupted by evil God. How exactly do you do it?" Qin Yun curiously asked. "Generally speaking, people who have fallen into the devil Tao have their soul and martial spirit corrupted by evil thoughts and evil power. Especially those who have been bestowed power by evil God, it is the most serious. If we can expel the evil power from the soul and martial spirit, we can achieve the effect of purification," Long Bei said. Qin Yun promptly recalled all kinds of methods in the soul refining technique. Among them there is a chapter on soul-body purification. It is to use the purest energy to purify the corrupted energy on the soul body. Qin Yun has overwhelming righteous martial spirit. It means that he has the purest energy. "Senior, maybe I can give it a try, there shouldn't be any risk. I have overwhelming righteous martial spirit. Moreover, I know soul refining technique. There shouldn't be any problem, right?" Qin Yun said. "Soul refining technique, overwhelming righteous martial spirit." Long Bei looked at Qin Yun with some shock. Qin Yun promptly released the overwhelming righteous power. After Long Bei saw this, he inhaled a long mouthful of air, nodded his head and said, "Quickly give it a try." Long Bei was captured very early on. He also has no descendant. After Wu Long was raised by him, he treated Wu Long as his own grandson and doted on him very dearly. Qin Yun promptly placed his hand on Wu Long's abdomen and sensed the dragon spirit inside Wu Long's body. Not long after, he sensed that there is a ball of evil power inside Wu Long's dragon spirit. That ball of evil power looks like it has many roots. It is coiling around the dragon spirit inside and out. After Qin Yun grasped the situation of the dragon spirit, he promptly unleashed overwhelming righteous power and poured it into the dragon spirit to eliminate the evil power entangling the dragon spirit. Wu Long's body unceasingly emitted a very dense black gas. "It's effective! Long Bei is very happy," he somewhat excitedly yelled. Qin Yun is also amazed by evil God's power. It can actually take root so deeply. He used very strong, overwhelming righteous power to purify the evil power. One day and one night passed by. The sky of 9 Dragon Devil Prison's 9th floor is filled with black gas. This is the evil power with consciousness. The black gas transformed into a malevolent head. It furiously roared, "It's you again, always ruining my good matter. Go to hell, evil God!" Qin Yun blasted a punch towards the head formed from black energy. Strong, overwhelming righteous energy surged like a great river and rushed over. "Just wait for me, I will find you sooner or later," evil God furiously said. The black head also suddenly disappeared. Qin Yun let out a long sigh and wiped his sweat. "Thank you very much, little brother." Long Bei's expression is filled with respect as he looked at Qin Yun. After all, he is someone who dares to challenge evil God. Senior, no need to be polite. Inside Wu Long's dragon spirit, there is still devil intent. It comes from his own heart. Qin Yun sighed and said, "That is the most difficult to expel. He can only rely on himself, otherwise he will still draw an evil god power." Long Bei said, "It would be good if you were a Dao inscription master. You would be able to carve devil sealing Dao rune on Wu Long's dragon spirit." After Qin Yun heard this, he faintly smiled and said, "Senior, I won't hide it from you, I am not only a soul refining master, I am also a Dao inscription master." Long Bei sized up Qin Yun again and said in disbelief, "Is this true? You are so young, not only your strength is formidable, you are also a soul refining inscription master? Show me the devil sealing Dao rune," Qin Yun said. Long Bei took out the devil-sealing Dao rune and carved it on a beast skin. After looking at it, Qin Yun said, "Senior, how about this? I will carve Dragon Totem on Wu Long's dragon spirit. I also have Dragon Totem." "You? Who the hell are you? How do you know so many things?" Long Bei's expression is filled with disbelief. His eyes are filled with admiration as he looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun laughed, took out the mental resonant Xian pen and said, "I will begin now." Qin Yun, who possesses Dao Monarch and Beast King inscription spirits, very easily carved devil sealing Dao rune and dragon totem on Wu Long's dragon spirit. From start to finish, it only took an hour. Long Bei also doesn't believe it, but after looking at Wu Long's dragon spirit, he immediately thanked Qin Yun. "Little brother, you need immortal dragon blood. I will surely help you obtain it. Consider it my repayment to you." Long Bei said, "But it will take some time. Senior, could it be that you don't want me to try and undo the beast governing collar?" Qin Yun said, This. Can you really do it?" Long Bei doesn't even dare to think about this matter. "If I undo it, will the Manor Master of Dragon King Manor know?" Qin Yun is rather worried about this matter. "I don't know. Even if he knows, I am not afraid. With my strength, if I want to bring you and Wu Long out of Dragon King Manor, no one can stop me." Long Bei very confidently said, "The premise is that the beast governing collar must be completely destroyed." Long Bei considered for a while and made a decision. He said with resolute expression, "Come." He extended his wrist. Qin Yun looked at the beast governing collar and released little Mo, magical fairy? Long Bei is a dragon, he knows about this kind of mystical little fairy. "Hello Grandpa Long," Mo said in low voice. Long Bei doesn't understand what Qin Yun wants to do. Qin Yun had previously told Mo to come out and give it a try. Mo looked at the beast governing collar and began concentrating her mind. She is High Priest, she has a special ability, she can make runes lose effect and stop operation. Mo released her special power, her transparent wings flapped very quickly, her dark green eyes shot out 2 green light rays and hit the collar. Not long after, Mo lightly yelled, "Big brother, the bracelet has lost effect." At this time, Qin Yun vigorously pried open the bracelet and completely broke it. The bracelet separated from Long Bei's wrist. Long Bei looked at the broken beast governing collar. He is so excited that his whole body shivered. This thing that has imprisoned his soul for so many years has finally been broken. Mo also returned to Qin Yun's 9-sun divine soul. Qin Yun wants to let Mo try and see whether or not she can break open the slave governing collar. Chapter 868. Xian Domain Dragon Sect. Chapter 868. Dragon Sect. Long Bei is in a daze for a good while. He finally believes that this is true. He cannot help but sigh with emotion and said, "That little toy caused me to be enslaved for so many years, my soul was shackled and now it has been taken away by you, truly awesome." Qin Yun said with smile, "Senior, I believe that you will keep your promise and help me get that immortal dragon's blood. Long Bei chuckled and said, I will definitely do it. Now I am finally free, I don't need to look at those old guys in Dragon King Manor anymore. Hearing Long Bei's words, Qin Yun realized that the Dragon King Manor is about to be razed to the ground. Senior, I have a plan. How about we join hands and capture that immortal dragon? At that time, we can discuss how to divide the profits evenly. Qin Yun said. Dragons are not harmonious with each other, sometimes they even treat each other with hostility. Because Long Bei was enslaved by the beast governing collar, he was often looked down upon by the other immortal dragon inside the Dragon King Manor. He was even bullied. Therefore he had to endure many years of resentment. Now his soul is no longer shackled by the beast governing collar, he has the opportunity to fight back. Although Long Bei cannot defeat that immortal dragon, he can still exchange a few moves. How to capture? At most, I'll be able to injure that guy and get some blood. I will run after I get some blood, I won't fight with him. Long Bei said. Qin Yun told Long Bei about the dragon hunting formation according to Xiao Yuemei's instructions. After Long Bei heard this, he became amazed and worried. Because he is a dragon and Qin Yun seems to have experience in capturing dragons. Senior, I won't capture you, we are now friends, we will cooperate and obtain even greater benefits. Qin Yun saw the worry flashing through Long Bei's eyes and said with smile. Long Bei carefully thought about it and also feels that Qin Yun has no way to deal with him. Because with Qin Yun's strength alone, he is unable to contend against an immortal dragon. Alright, let's talk about it after you finish the formation. Long Bei agreed to cooperate with Qin Yun and capture the immortal dragon. Oh, that's right, Senior, your beast governing collar has been destroyed. Will the manor master of the Dragon King Manor sense it? Qin Yun asked. Don't worry. If he finds out, I'll just say that there's something wrong with the beast taming collar. Then tell him that I will continue to cooperate with the Dragon King Manor. Tell him not to be careful. Long Bei said with smile. At that time, that guy will surely compromise. I have been enduring for many years and have not shown any strong resentment, so they will definitely be at ease with me. Qin Yun said, Senior, I have some trouble outside. If it's possible, I hope you can step forward and help me. Long Bei nodded and said, Sure, those old guys from Dragon King Manor will give me face. Qin Yun felt a lot more at ease. Are you going out now? Long Bei asked. Qin Yun thought for a moment, shook his head and said, I plan to cultivate here for a period of time before going out. He still has many Regent Origin Stones and more than 10 King Energy Origin Pills. Those King Energy Origin Pills could allow him to increase his cultivation in the Martial King realm. He planned to eat the King Energy Vitality Pill and start cultivating. Long Bei also brought Wu Long to 8th floor and let Qin Yun cultivate here. Qin Yun ate the King Energy Origin Pill, closed his eyes and circulated his cultivation technique to refine it. Dao Core has 4 changes in Martial King realm. With each change, the Dao Core will become stronger and release even stronger King energy, making Xian Dao power even stronger. I am now in first transformation state, I need to enter second transformation to become mid-stage Martial King. Qin Yun is currently refining 2 King Energy Origin Pills and sensing the effect of the pills. The King Energy Origin Pills contain 9 kinds of pure and vigorous 9 Sun King energy. Qin Yun can directly absorb them and use them to strengthen the Nether Sun. If he did not have the King Energy Origin Pills, he would need to absorb the 9 Sun spiritual energy and then transform it into King energy to nourish and strengthen the Nether Sun. There would be a lot of steps in the middle and the result would not be very good. But now, he could directly use the King energy of the King Energy Yuan Dan to cultivate. Because of the 9 Sun Divine Spirit, he can also absorb 9 kinds of King energy from the King Energy Origin Pills. So long as he is inside the 9 Sun Desolate World, The 9 Sun Divine Spirit can absorb 9 kinds of sun energy, allowing Qin Yun to benefit for the rest of his life. Qin Yun refined 2 King Energy Origin pills and spent 4 days to experience the initial effect of the King Energy Origin pills. After I finish using these King Energy Origin pills, I should be able to break through. Qin Yun is very happy in his heart. Soon after, he continued eating King Energy Origin pills. The Nether Sun is an incomparably pitch-black ball. It has very strong attractive power. After the King Energy Origin pills were refined, they turned into golden-colored light and wrapped around the Nether Sun, making the Nether Sun flicker with 9-colored light. A great amount of 9-colored King energy is being absorbed by the Nether Sun bit by bit. Qin Yun is very worried about one thing. His Nether Sun is like a bottomless pit. When the time comes, he will not have enough King Energy Origin pills and he will have to use Regent Origin stones. Regent Origin stones should be able to let me enter late-stage Martial King realm. Qin Yun calculated in his heart. Xiao Yueme is studying the Regent Stone Mothers inside the 9 Sun Divine Spirit. She has not made any progress for the time being. What she wants to do is to let the Regent Stone Mothers absorb the Immortal Origins energy and quickly produce Regent Origin stones. Qin Yun believes that she will succeed. After all, Xiao Yueme has the memories of her past life. Her past life was a very experienced and knowledgeable person, otherwise she would not go around swindling people. King Energy Origin pill is indeed worthy of being a very good King tier pill. It takes me 2 days to refine 1 pill, Qin Yun said in his heart. Because his refining ability is very strong, especially when combined with all kinds of cultivation techniques, it is very fast. However, it still took him 2 days. What he doesn't know is that, if it were other people, they would need at least 10 days to refine 1 pill. Although Qin Yun also knows pill refining technique, the medicinal ingredients are too hard to find, so he has not been able to refine them. Now he is a martial king, the pills he needs are either Dao tier or King tier. The pill refining technique he mastered before can only be used as a foundation. Only by going to a place rich in medicinal ingredients can he increase his pill refining level. Yao Feng is also very quiet inside the 9 Sun Divine Spirit. She is also studying the Dao technique, but she has not made any progress. Qin Yun is very puzzled. It is just a Dao technique. Why is it taking so long for an expert like Yao Feng to study it? 1 month later, Qin Yun sensed that the Nether Sun is revolving. It is about to evolve. Second transformation, Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. The Nether Sun is revolving at a very fast speed, shooting out 9 colored light rays. This is the strengthened 9 Sun King energy. Qin Yun's 9 Sun King energy has been strengthened by a lot. This way, when released together with Xian Dao power, it can make Xian Dao power even stronger and more ferocious. I broke through so fast. Qin Yun sent sound transmission to Xiao Yueme and said with smile, Yueme, it is up to you. If you can successfully make the Stone Mother produce large amount of Regent Origin stones, we will be able to break through Martial King and Martial Emperor realm even faster. Xiao Yueme curled her lips and said, Brother, I am working very hard. If not for researching these things, I would not be sitting here so obediently. Qin Yun laughed, then stood up and stretched his muscles and bones. Long Bei also ran over from time to time. He saw that Qin Yun is finally not sitting there, he said with smile. Little brother, you should fight with Wu Long. That guy's attitude has become a lot better. Qin Yun did not even agree when Long Bei entered the 8th floor and brought Wu Long up. Wu Long is a young man. His handsome face is still filled with childishness. After he saw Qin Yun, his attitude changed a lot. He is no longer as lofty and unyielding as before. Big brother Baldy, my strength has increased by a lot under grandfather's guidance this month. This time I will surely defeat you, Wu Long very confidently said. Although his tone is filled with arrogance, He is no longer as arrogant as before. Long Bei said with smile. Little brother, although you are a soul-refining inscription master, your strength is more or less the same as Wu Long. Qin Yun said with some embarrassment. Senior, I just broke through, I am mid-stage Martial King, are you sure you want Wu Long to fight me? Wu Long is stunned. His confidence from earlier also disappeared in a flash. He was oppressed by initial stage Martial King Qin Yun before, and now Qin Yun is mid-stage Martial King. What is the point of fighting? Long Bei doesn't know what to say. He is very clear about Qin Yun's potential. Although there is only a small gap between initial stage and mid-stage Martial King, it is a huge breakthrough for Qin Yun. All right. Then I won't force you. Long Bei shook his head and smiled. I will go out for a walk. When I am ready, I will come look for you again. Qin Yun walked towards the door and said, All right, when you need help, you can also come look for me. Long Bei nodded. Qin Yun flew out of Nine Dragon Devil Prison and landed on the ground. It is morning now, morning has just passed. The 9 suns in the sky are still in a very mild state. Many flowers, grasses and trees in the Dragon King Manor are absorbing the spiritual energy released by the 9 suns. Then they overflowed with fragrant aura and floated through the Dragon King Manor. Qin Yun quickly left Nine Dragon Devil Prison, passed through a large mountain, a few gardens and a lake, and arrived at Long Yutsang's residence. Long Yutsang and Xian Rujing are not here. Qin Yun quickly found a servant and after asking, he learned a shocking piece of news. Xian Domain people have arrived again. And they are Xian Domain Dragon Sect people. Xian Domain Dragon Sect people arrived before, they are very strong people, there are half-immortals, martial kings and martial emperors, there is also a very strong Long Shenquang. And all of them have been killed by Qin Yun, their Dao cores and life crystals have been stored away by Qin Yun. Xian Domain Dragon Sect people must have come to Dragon King Manor to discuss how to deal with Jian family or how to dominate the spirit desolate ordinary realm. Qin Yun thought as he walked towards a large hall inside the Dragon King Manor. That Dragon King large hall is the meeting place of the Dragon King Manor. Long Tsangxing, Long Yutsang and Xian Rujing have been called over, it must not be anything good. Qin Yun is somewhat worried about Long Tsangxing because Long Tsangxing is a capable helper. He needs Qin Yun's help in refining the flag formation. Qin Yun rushed towards the Dragon King large hall and was stopped outside, not allowed to enter. I am Long Yutian, why are you stopping me? Qin Yun yelled. Chapter 869. Dragon Capturing Plan. After Qin Yun waited outside for a while, the guard came out and let Qin Yun in. Qin Yun tidied up his clothes and entered through the large door. There are many people inside the hall. Qin Yun saw Heavenly Dragon Sect and Dragon King Manor people. Apart from them, there is also a group of unfamiliar experts. Judging from their aura, most of them are martial emperors and half-immortals. Xian Rujing and Long Yutsang are also standing at the side, their expression is not good. And Heavenly Dragon Sect people are gnashing their teeth when they saw Qin Yun. Qin Yun felt a lot relieved seeing Long Tsangxing here. Wretched Baldy, you actually came out? I thought you were trapped inside Nine Dragon Devil Prison to death. A Long family half-immortal said with sneer. You came just in time. We are now discussing an important matter. As a member of our Long family, you should contribute something. Heavenly Dragon Sect people said. Contribute the dragon spirit, let us share it. It can increase our overall strength. Qin Yun said with smile. The dragon spirit is not with me, I gave it to Senior Long Bei. You can go ask him for it. Hearing Qin Yun's words, Heavenly Dragon Sect and Long family elders are all dumbfounded. Especially Heavenly Dragon Sect people, their faces are filled with despair. If the dragon spirit was still in Qin Yun's hands, Heavenly Dragon Sect, Xian Domain Dragon Sect, and Long family half-immortals would join hands and pressure Long Tsangxing to take it back. But now the dragon spirit has been given to Long Bei, they have no chance to take it back. I gave him the dragon spirit and he let me come out? Qin Yun said again. Everyone here is very curious why Qin Yun can freely enter Nine Dragon Devil Prison. It seems like his relationship with Long Bei is very good. Long family people said with sneer. Wretched Baldy, don't be too proud. Even though Long Bei is an immortal dragon, he is still under our control. You gave him the dragon spirit, it is also a good thing for us. Long Bei has always been under the control of Long family. If the Manor Master of Dragon King Manor says so, Long Bei will not dare to not give it. Then you can go get it from him. Qin Yun spread out his hands and said, I gave it to Senior Long Bei to strengthen our Dragon King Manor. My contribution should be very great. Humph! Heavenly Dragon Sect half-immortal furiously groaned. Because Long Chuanwu was crippled, they have been brooding over this matter. Let's go. Long Tsangxing coldly said and then walked towards the gate. Now in Long family, Long Tsangxing's faction is the weakest and the other three factions have joined together. This caused Long Tsangxing to feel great pressure. Just a moment ago, Long Tsangxing was very worried that the Heavenly Dragon Sect would join hands to snatch the dragon spirit. Fortunately, Qin Yun was able to deceive them. Otherwise, they would have really fought. Long Tsangxing brought Qin Yun's group and hastily returned to his residence. After returning, Long Yutsang sat paralyzed on a chair and yelled, Scared me to death! Why are those guys from the Profound Domain Dragon Sect so powerful? And so many powerful figures had come. If they were to fight, the consequences would be unimaginable. Long Tsangxing wiped his sweat and said, Last time, Xian Domain Dragon Sect suffered disastrous losses. None of the people they sent came back alive. So this time, they sent so many people to deal with the Jian family. Long Yutsang looked at Qin Yun because only he knows Qin Yun's identity. Last time on the Sword Island, it was Qin Yun who caused those people to suffer great losses. Long Tsangxing said, Dragon King Manor is not suitable to stay for long, we should quickly leave. If we start a war with the Jian family, both sides will suffer great losses. Xian Rujing drank a mouthful of tea and coldly groaned. Your Long family is truly stupid. You clearly know that both sides will suffer great losses. Why do you still want to start a war? Long Tsangxing helplessly said, Dragon King Manor, Heavenly Dragon Sect, Xian Domain Dragon Sect. Among these three factions, the strongest is Xian Domain Dragon Sect. If Xian Domain Dragon Sect does not suppress Jian family will attack Xian Domain not long after. At that time, Xian Domain will become even more chaotic. Qin Yun said, Doesn't Dragon King Manor have 2 immortal dragons? Long Tsangxing shook his head and said, Immortal dragons can only display their might inside Dragon King Manor, they can't do anything outside. And those sword cultivators from Jian family are very dreadful, if we fight them outside, we will suffer great losses. Long Yutsang said, Grandfather, are we truly leaving Dragon King Manor? There are many industries in this place. If we leave Dragon King Manor, it will not be easy to make purple crystal coins later. Long Tsangxing sighed and said, I also don't want to leave, but there is no place for us here. Those guys are always on guard against me. They are worried that I will control the entire Dragon King Manor. Qin Yun can see that Long Tsangxing is the kind of person who doesn't like to fight, but other people are always on guard against him. Little Baldy, follow me. I have something to ask you. Long Tsangxing said to Qin Yun. Qin Yun followed Long Tsangxing out of the hall and arrived at an underground secret room. Inside the hall, Long Tsangxing said to Qin Yun, Even though you infiltrated Dragon King Manor and pretended to be my grandson, you saved Long Yutsang and even helped my son take revenge. I thank you. Grandfather, I also thank you for giving me the Tao King Talisman Cannon. Qin Yun laughed. Long Tsangxing also smiled in gratification. Little guy, you are indeed very awesome. I have something to ask you. What is Senior Long Bei's current situation? I have not seen him for a very long time. Qin Yun also wants to take this opportunity to discuss Long Bei's matter with Long Tsangxing. Grandfather, is your relationship with Senior Long Bei very good? Qin Yun asked. I respect him very much. Back then it was him who guided me and allowed me to cultivate dragon transformation power. Long Tsangxing nodded. Senior Long Bei has always had great resentment towards Dragon King Manor and that other immortal dragon. Now he has already broken away from Dragon King Manor's control. The beast governing collar on his body has already lost its effect, Qin Yun said in low voice. After Long Tsangxing heard this, his expression immediately became very happy and he said, "This is a very good thing. Grandfather, Senior Long Bei wants to deal with that immortal dragon. He needs our help." Qin Yun said again. How can we help him? Long Tsangxing's eyes flickered as he promptly asked. It's like this, I have a flag formation passed down from my ancestors. I need to carve profound sun runes. With my current strength, I cannot carve sun runes. As for other totem runes, star and moon runes, I can deal with them, Qin Yun said again. After Long Tsangxing heard this, he inhaled a mouthful of air and somewhat excitedly said, "What kind of sun runes are those?" "Beast governing sun runes." Qin Yun promptly took out a large stack of paper. It is the blueprint of the dragon sealing great formation. Long Tsangxing is very excited looking at the runes on the blueprint. He is constantly looking at them. It is as if he is possessed. So long as we kill that immortal dragon, we will fly far away, Qin Yun said again. Long Tsangxing's appearance is still very young. He looks like a middle-aged man, but he is already very close to immortal. His goal is to enter Immortal Desolate or perhaps travel to Xian Domain or some other place. He already wanted to leave. Alright. We will begin crafting the flag formation now. Long Tsangxing is also very restless, he said with smile. I will go out and greet old brother and the others. Tell them that we will be crafting the formation together. It will take a period of time before we can leave, Qin Yun said. Long Tsangxing nodded, then took out many materials from his storage space. After Qin Yun left, he greeted Long Yutsang and Xian Rujing and then entered the secret room. After entering, he saw Long Tsangxing is cutting some very thick beast skins. These beast skins were refined by me before. They are mainly used to craft talismans and formations, Long Tsangxing said. Qin Yun also saw that there are many thick beast skins on the ground. Long Tsangxing has lived for many years. He is also a very strong inscription master. He has all kinds of materials. This is also the reason why Xiao Yueme asked Qin Yun to find Long Tsangxing. This way, after cutting the beast skins, he only needs to carve runes on them. Grandfather, you are from Dragon King Manor. Is it not good for you to capture that immortal dragon? Qin Yun said with smile. Humph. That immortal dragon is a very arrogant guy. He is also very biased. Many elders and young disciples in the Dragon King Manor have received pointers from that immortal dragon. Only I didn't. Long Tsangxing coldly groaned and said, Later Senior Long Bei saw my talent and guided me in cultivating heavenly dragon art. This is also the reason why Long Tsangxing has always been enemies with those people. Heavenly dragon art is the core cultivation method of Dragon King Manor. If someone can guide him in the early stage, he can avoid many detours. Therefore, Long Tsangxing is very grateful to Long Bei. With Long Tsangxing's help, Qin Yun is even more confident in capturing that immortal dragon. After Long Tsangxing finished cutting the materials needed for the flag formation, he began studying sun runes. I need a total of 36 flags. Qin Yun took out mental resonance Xian pen and began carving runes on the beast skins. He is carving Star Rune, Moon Rune and Hunter Totem. Only Hunter Totem is very difficult. Qin Yun can carve Star and Moon runes very easily. If I had Totem Inscription Spirit, it would be a lot easier. Qin Yun is secretly envious of Lu Jingming's Totem Inscription Spirit. He finished carving star and moon runes in a short while and then began working on Hunter Totem. Long Tsangxing is studying the sun runes and glanced at Qin Yun from time to time. He suddenly saw Qin Yun carving star and moon runes and shouted in a strange voice, "It didn't take long for you to finish carving those 2 runes?" Qin Yun chuckled and said, "Grandfather, we must hurry up. I am worried that Senior Long Bei will not be able to sit still and attack ahead of time." Long Tsangxing promptly nodded and continued looking at the sun runes. He believes that Qin Yun learned those star and moon runes very early on, that's why he is so fast. Qin Yun is now carving Hunter Totem. He learned it on the spot. He is relying on his formidable mental power and rich experience in carving totem to quickly master Hunter Totem. Before, he thought that if he used inscription spirit excessively to carve totem, he would lose his comprehension of totem. And now, it was also because of his fast speed in carving totem patterns that he was able to learn the Hunter Totem patterns so quickly. Chapter 870. Dragon Sect disciple Long Tsangxing suffered a great blow because after Qin Yun finished his task, he gave the beast skin to Long Tsangxing. But he still has not learned the sun rune. Even though Qin Yun's perception is very high and he is very experienced in all aspects, he still needs a whole day to carve a beast skin. He only rests for an hour every day. Still too slow. Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. "You brat, you still think it is too slow? If it was me, I would need at least 3 to 5 days to complete this task." Long Tsangxing laughed in self-mockery. "I am already starting my task." Qin Yun said with smile, "Grandpa, take your time. I have been studying that flag formation for a very long time. That is why I can be so fast. It is because the beast governing sun rune is too complex. I just looked at it and didn't feel like studying it." Long Tsangxing nodded with smile. Beast governing sun rune is indeed very complex. Moreover, it is not something you can carve with your current strength. The beast governing sun rune looks like a piece of paper with many densely packed runes drawn on it. Without some experience in using sun runes, it is impossible to master it in a short time. Just like this, Qin Yun stayed in the underground secret room for more than 30 days and finished carving his portion of the flag formation. Long Tsangxing also began carving sun runes. His progress is rather slow. He needs 2 to 3 days to carve a set of beast governing sun runes. This kind of matter cannot be rushed. After Qin Yun finished his task, he left the underground room. He came out and saw Long Yutsang sitting in the living room. His face is bloody and swollen. "Old brother, what's going on? Who beat you?" Qin Yun promptly asked. "Where is Xian Rujing?" "Xian Domain Dragon Sect people. They beat me, they took away Xian Rujing." Long Yutsang yelled in anger. "They took away Rujing?" Qin Yun immediately became angry. He and Xian Rujing can be considered friends. "Isn't Dragon King Manor not allowed to fight? Where did they beat you?" Qin Yun took out some healing medicine and helped Long Yutsang clean his wounds. Long Yutsang said, "On the battle stage, there are martial arts competitions every day. I was provoked by them, I went on stage to fight and lost." Qin Yun really did not expect that Long Yutsang would be so weak. He was completely oppressed as soon as he went up. "Then what about Rujing? Where did they take her?" Qin Yun is not at all worried about Xian Rujing. "Bring them to the Emperor Dragon courtyard. That place is for distinguished guests. Xian Domain Dragon Sect people are staying there." Long Yutsang said. "I will go now," Qin Yun said. After Qin Yun learned the route from Long Yutsang, he promptly left for the Emperor Dragon courtyard. The Emperor Dragon courtyard was a very large courtyard, and there were also very high walls and enchantments. After Qin Yun arrived at the entrance of the Emperor Dragon courtyard, he did not see any guards and directly entered the entrance. As soon as he entered, he sensed Xian Rujing's aura and headed towards a large house ahead. There was a spacious hall inside, and many people dressed in luxurious clothes were drinking and chatting merrily inside. From the looks of it, it was just a gathering. Xian Rujing is inside. As usual, she wore a noble and elegant white dress, maintaining a cold and arrogant aura. Qin Yun is somewhat amazed because he did not expect that there would be many young and formidable youngsters here. Many of them are not from Dragon King Manor. Could it be that all these formidable youngsters are from Xian Domain Dragon Sect? Qin Yun suddenly thought of something when he saw this group of people. Xian Domain Dragon Sect is most likely finished, so they withdrew their young disciples and arranged for them to stay in Dragon King Manor. Xian Rujing is also surrounded by a group of young handsome and formidable Dragon Sect disciples. Xian Rujing must have been invited here, that is why she is very respectful towards these Dragon Sect disciples. Qin Yun put on his hat, mixed in with the crowd and observed from the dark. There are also some young disciples of other factions here. Qin Yun is wearing a hat, so no one noticed him. Suddenly a burst of clamorous voice came from the entrance. Qin Yun looked over and saw a few women wearing luxurious long dress walking in. These women are all very beautiful, each of them have their own temperament, some are charming, some are cold and elegant, some are flirtatious and pleasant. Not only are they beautiful and alluring, their strength is also not weak. The woman in the lead is a cold and arrogant woman wearing red skirt. As soon as she arrived, she saw Xian Rujing and walked over. There are a few Dragon Sect disciples besides Xian Rujing. They are the most outstanding and strongest people here. When they saw those few women walking over, their expression slightly changed, and they kept some distance from Xian Rujing. You are Xian Rujing from Immortal Desolate? I heard your fiancé was crippled, and you became the slave of the person who crippled your fiancé? A lowly slave like you actually dared to come out and disgrace yourself. You even hooked up with other people's husband. That cold and arrogant woman furiously cursed at Xian Rujing in cold voice. Xian Rujing is very calm, she said with smile. It was your husband who invited me to this banquet. It was them who hooked up with me first. This caused those few Dragon Sect disciples to immediately become furious. Looking at their appearance, it seems like they want to rush over and tear Xian Rujing to shreds. Qin Yun is also not worried. After all, Xian Rujing is a woman who can endure tearing, moreover she is also very good at tearing. Everyone is very happy to see this kind of fight for favor. They did not say anything, they are quietly watching from the side, they are all spectators. That cold and arrogant woman looked at a blue-clothed man and said in cold voice, "What is the meaning of this? Why did you invite a lowly slave like her?" The blue-clothed man promptly said with smile, "Wife, I was wrong. We were just curious about Immortal Desolate, so we invited her to talk to us, that's all." A charming woman said in cold voice, "You all want to screw her and obtain immortal veins through her, right? If that is the case, then it is also possible, I agree. But the condition is that after you screw her, you must immediately throw her away." The cold and arrogant woman looked at Xian Rujing and said with sneer, "You lowly slave, do you think you are so popular because you are an Immortal Desolate? Of course not, you are just a tool to help other people cultivate immortal veins, that is why everyone wants to screw you." Those few women also started talking about this matter to Xian Rujing one after another. "You want to use your special physique to lure men and swindle benefits, right? Stop dreaming. A lowly slave like you should properly serve my man. Wait until he cultivates immortal veins, I will kick you away." That cold and arrogant woman said with evil smile. Qin Yun became very angry after hearing this. He wants to go over and tear apart those women's mouth. But Xian Rujing is very calm. This caused Qin Yun to have a whole new level of respect for her. It must be known that Xian Rujing is an ice mother tigress who bites people at the slightest provocation. You want your men to screw me together? Dream on. With their kind of strength, I don't like them at all. Moreover, only by obtaining my virgin body can they cultivate immortal veins. Let them fight first. If they win, they will have to defeat Long Yutian. Xian Rujing said with sneer. Lowly slave. You dare look down on me? That blue-clothed man furiously said. You are just a slave wearing slave-governing collar. Why are you so arrogant? I invited you here, I already gave you enough face. Other few dragon sect disciples also started cursing at Xian Rujing. Damned lowly slave, don't think that just because I gave you some face, you can truly treat yourself as an immortal. That cold and arrogant woman said with sneer. Don't think you can leave tonight, just stay here and do what a slave should do. Properly serve my husband and let him cultivate immortal veins. Xian Rujing said in cold voice. You think you can stop me? We are all peak martial kings, what do you think? That blue-clothed man laughed loudly and said. That cold and arrogant woman also said with sneer. We are late-stage martial kings. Not to mention you, even if your master Long Yutian came, he would not be able to escape. Qin Yun is very unconvinced hearing these words. He promptly took off his hat and walked over. Everyone saw a bald head suddenly appear from within the crowd and immediately became excited. Long Yutian has arrived. There will be a good show to watch. Qin Yun very calmly walked over to Xian Rujing and said, Wife, why are you running around everywhere? Senior Long Bei just gave me a vat of immortal dragon blood. I wanted to use it with you to cultivate. Most of the people here are Long family disciples. Immortal dragon blood is something they yearn for even in their dreams. Even a small cup is already very good. And Long Bei actually gave her a vat of it. This caused many Long family disciples to become incomparably envious. Even Xian Domain Dragon Sect disciples have difficulty obtaining a vat of immortal dragon blood. No one suspects that there is a vat of immortal dragon blood because everyone knows that Qin Yun gave the dragon spirit to Long Bei. Moreover, they just heard Qin Yun call Xian Rujing wife. It means that Xian Rujing is not a slave but rather a good wife. Those dozen or so dragon sect disciples, regardless of male or female, are all looking at Qin Yun and Xian Rujing with incomparable jealousy. Xian Rujing also did not expect Qin Yun to suddenly appear. But she promptly cooperated with Qin Yun and said, Husband, after I break through to Martial Emperor, I will share a room with you. At that time, you will be able to cultivate immortal veins even more steadily. With immortal veins, when you enter half-immortal realm, you will be able to condense immortal power very quickly and easily cross tribulation. Many of the people here are martial kings. They all have the possibility of becoming half-immortals in the future. Half-immortal tribulation is the biggest headache for them. If they can cultivate immortal veins, it will be extremely good. Xian Rujing coldly glanced at those few women and said with smile, Husband, these few women are from Xian Domain Dragon Sect. Look at them, they are so wretched. They actually look down on me, a person from immortal desolate. What right do they have? Qin Yun looked at those few dragon sect disciples and said in cold voice, Brothers, Rujing is already my wife, don't have any improper thoughts about her. But I can understand, after all, Rujing is more beautiful than your wives, she is also more outstanding than them. But Rujing is also a married woman, you should be a bit more conscious. Baldy, what did you say? We are not as beautiful as that lowly slave? That icily arrogant woman is not convinced and shouted loudly. Xian Rujing said with smile, You are not as good as me, your husband is also not as good as my husband. So you are very compatible. Chapter 871. Sacred Pupil Awakening. Those Xian Domain Dragon Sect disciples became angry out of shame after being insulted like this. Baldy, I heard you are very good at arm wrestling. I, Long Ji, will ask for advice today. We won't bet anything. If we lose, we will take a slap. That blue-clothed youth looked at Qin Yun and said in cold voice, All right, no problem. If you lose, I will let Rujing go slap you. Qin Yun said with smile, Ji, you will surely win. When the time comes, let me slap you. That icily arrogant woman thought for a bit and said again, "How about this? You men will be in charge of arm wrestling, we women will be slapped or slapped, how about it?" That icily arrogant woman rather hates Xian Rujing, especially in her heart she feels that she is inferior to Xian Rujing. After Xian Rujing heard this, she said with smile, "No problem, I am very willing." Long Ji said with sneer, "Baldy, you will have to use all your strength. If you lose, your woman will be slapped by my woman." Qin Yun took out a stone table and placed his hand on it. Long Ji also arrived. After both of them are ready, they immediately began. Long Ji is a peak martial king. He believes that it is not difficult for him to win against an initial stage martial king. However, as soon as the fight began, Long Ji sensed Qin Yun's dreadful power. Everyone wanted to cheer for Long Ji, but they did not expect that Long Ji's hand would be pressed down bit by bit. He is in a disadvantageous position. Very soon, Long Ji's hand landed on the table. "I won." Qin Yun faintly smiled. Long Ji's eyes are wide open. He doesn't dare to believe this is true. Just now he used very formidable power, but he lost so thoroughly. After all, according to common sense, an initial stage martial king cannot be compared to a peak stage martial king in terms of power. Qin Yun is now a mid-stage martial king. Moreover, he has a mortal devil body. His overall power is very formidable. Xian Rujing knows that Qin Yun will not lose. After all, she suffered a few losses in Qin Yun's hands. She knows very well how dreadful he is. She looked at that icily arrogant woman with sneer and said, "Should I slap your left cheek or right cheek? Don't go back on your word." The cold and arrogant woman was very unhappy that Long Ji had lost, but she was relatively calm. She said disdainfully, "You can fight whichever side you want. With your strength, you can't hurt me at all." After saying that, a faint white glow appeared on the icily arrogant woman's face. Very strong Xian Dao power. It looks like the legendary armor of profound energy. I didn't expect her to be able to cultivate it at such a young age. It is said that the armor of mysterious energy can block king weapons. Xian Rujing, quickly fight. Xian Rujing saw the extremely strong defense on that icily arrogant woman's face. She lightly groaned and then sent out a slap. Pa! A very clear and melodious sound echoed. Xian Rujing's lily-white hand heavily landed on that icily arrogant woman's face. The onlookers were all a little surprised. The cold and arrogant woman was actually sent flying, and her face was also beaten red and swollen. "Little May!" Long Ji immediately shouted and went over to pick up his wife. Ji, quickly! Quickly kill those two guys!" That icily arrogant woman furiously wailed and screamed. Her voice is very loathsome. "You reap what you sow." Xian Rujing curled her lips and said to Qin Yun, "Let's go." Qin Yun laughed, pulled Xian Rujing's lily-white hand and walked towards the door. Just as they took a few steps, those young men and women from Xian Domain Dragon sect blocked their path. "You want to leave?" "No way." A black-clothed man said in cold voice. "Elders said that we can capture Xian Rujing with our own ability. If something happens, they will take responsibility. Isn't she just a lowly servant? If we do her, then we do her. What can happen?" That charming woman said with evil smile. "Husband, Long Ji's group has already lost, you should go." Xian Rujing said with frown, "Did the elders of Xian Domain Dragon sect agree to this?" "Of course. Our Xian Domain Dragon sect is the strongest. Even those Heavenly Dragon sect people have to look at our face now. Who told them to be weaker than us?" That black-clothed man proudly laughed and then took out a transparent crystal bowl. That black-clothed man rushed over like an arrow and sent a palm attack towards Qin Yun. Qin Yun did not expect that this person would attack here. Moreover, his attack is very heavy. The palm power released caused the entire house to tremble. Qin Yun promptly pushed Xian Rujing away, then counterattacked with a palm attack and jolted back the black-clothed man. "You have some strength." That black-clothed man threw the crystal bowl towards Qin Yun. After the crystal bowl flew over, it flickered with light rays and suddenly became very big, enveloping Qin Yun in a flash. Qin Yun has been covered by the crystal bowl. Moreover, the crystal bowl is releasing a very special golden light. Qin Yun's entire body is in intense pain because of the golden light. He cannot even concentrate his mental power. After Xian Rujing saw this, she wanted to go over, but her body has been tied up by hair like fine thread. She is unable to budge and her power has also been sealed. That black-clothed man actually used two very strong magic tools in succession. These two half-immortal tools given by elders are truly awesome. They can easily capture you too. That black-clothed man chuckled and said, "Husband, this woman Xian Rujing is yours." That charming woman said with evil smile, "You must not be gentle with her by any means, you must be a bit rough. You can only be gentle with me, you are not allowed to be gentle with other women." That black-clothed man said with evil smile, "What if she likes to be rough?" Qin Yun painfully screamed inside the crystal bowl. His nether sun seems to have been sealed. He cannot release its power, mysterious penetration divine ability cannot be used. And not only the spirit nether moon has been sealed, it is also being bombarded by power. He even lost contact with Ling Yuner. "You bunch of bastards!" Qin Yun furiously cursed. Everyone is secretly shocked looking at this scene. They feel that Xian Domain Dragon Sect people are completely ignoring Dragon King Manor's rules. This is already a private fight. "Wait, let me beat up that lowly slave girl first." That icily arrogant woman whose face was swollen suddenly shouted in anger. "I also want to beat her up." That charming woman's face is filled with ruthlessness. She walked over and continuously slapped Xian Rujing's absolutely beautiful face. After that icily arrogant woman arrived, she gnashed her teeth in anger and maliciously beat up Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing's body is being bound by a very formidable fine thread. She is unable to fight back. The power inside her body is also sealed, causing her to be unable to summon Snow Woman Immortal. Qin Yun looked at Xian Rujing being besieged by those women. He is extremely furious in his heart. The few men who were watching from the side were all laughing loudly. What Dragon King Manor's rules? In front of our Xian Domain Dragon Sect's formidable power, they are nothing but dog fart. "Wait a moment, I will properly beat up that baldy," Long Ji said with sneer. Another youth looked at that black-clothed man with some jealousy and said, "Brother He, I did not expect you to have so many half-immortal tools. That Xian Rujing is yours." That Brother He proudly laughed and said, "My elder lent it to me. He is very fond of that immortal vein. He wants me to obtain it." Xian Rujing's face is being beaten up by those women one after another, causing everyone to feel very distressed. Qin Yun is sealed inside the large crystal bowl, looking at Xian Rujing being beaten up. He is also incomparably furious in his heart. Xian Rujing is his friend, even though the two of them had some conflicts. Later on they admired each other and became friends who could trust each other. Xian Rujing is only gritting her teeth and glaring at those women. Not only she is not crying, she is not even uttering a single word, she is enduring the humiliation. Qin Yun tightly clenched his fists. Even though he is incomparably furious, the power inside his body has been sealed, making it impossible for him to release his fury. "Wretched Baldy, aren't you very awesome? Your woman is now being beaten up so miserably by our women, yet you can do nothing. Not only that Xian Rujing is being beaten up, she will also help me cultivate immortal vein. Ha ha ha. I am getting lucky." That Brother He very proudly laughed and said. Qin Yun clenched his teeth, one of his eyes suddenly turned white, there is no longer any black pupil. That completely white eye shot out a white light. The white light penetrated through the crystal bowl and formed a light beam. Soon after, Qin Yun's body also flickered with white light. His body also suddenly transformed into a white light, followed the light beam shot out from his eye and penetrated through the transparent crystal bowl. This is the power of sacred pupil. Qin Yun did not expect that the power of sacred pupil would allow him to transform into light. He easily penetrated through the crystal bowl. Both he and Xiao Yuemei obtained a sacred pupil before, but they did not know what use it has. Just now Qin Yun stimulated the power of the sacred pupil. It is indeed very dreadful. It caused his body to undergo a great transformation. He directly transformed into a white light and penetrated through the formidable crystal bowl. Seeing Qin Yun transform into a white light and penetrate through the crystal bowl, those few Xian Domain Dragon sect disciples turned pale with fright. That Brother He promptly controlled the large crystal bowl and once again pressed down on Qin Yun. Qin Yun has already taken out the Nether Spirit's sacred blade. He furiously hacked at the large crystal bowl a few times and directly chopped it into pieces. Those few women who humiliated Xian Rujing are startled. They reacted and wanted to use Xian Rujing to threaten Qin Yun. But Qin Yun did not give them any chance. He threw out a body-securing talisman and froze those few women for a few seconds. Within these few seconds, Qin Yun arrived beside Xian Rujing and used the Nether Spirit's sacred blade to cut those fine threads. Two dreadful half-immortal tools have been destroyed in a short while. Seeing his half-immortal tools destroyed, that Brother He feels endless grief and furiously rushed towards Qin Yun. After Xian Rujing can move, she promptly summoned two Snow Woman immortals and unleashed Heavenly Tribulation divine ability. She waved her palm and released tribulation thunder that bombarded those few women's bodies. Qin Yun firmly held the Nether Spirit's sacred blade. His body flickered and casually chopped at that Brother He. Brother He also has a dreadful sword in his hand, but it was chopped in half by the Nether Spirit's sacred blade. After the Nether Spirit's sacred blade chopped down on Brother He's body, his body was chopped in two. A dragon sect disciple died just like that. This caused everyone's heart to jump with fear and trepidation. Chapter 872. Tribulation Thunder Might. Xian Rujing is holding back her belly full of fury. The power of her heavenly tribulation divine ability is extremely dreadful. Those few Xian Domain Dragon sect female disciples are late-stage martial kings. However, they have been turned into charcoal in a short while. They are lying on the ground like roasted dead pigs. Those Dragon King Manor disciples saw Xian Rujing and Qin Yun's fight before. They saw Xian Rujing's heavenly tribulation divine ability power on the battle stage. But at that time, Xian Rujing's tribulation thunder continuously hit Qin Yun's body, but he was able to stand up. Therefore he gave people a feeling that he is not very strong. Now Xian Rujing killed those few late-stage martial king female disciples in a few moves, making people realize how strong the tribulation thunder divine ability is. Xian Rujing can see that her tribulation thunder is very strong and she has regained some confidence. Because when she fought with Qin Yun before, she was unable to defeat Qin Yun. This caused her to have great doubts about the power of tribulation lightning. Now, not only Xian Rujing, even other people are secretly shocked by Qin Yun's dreadful body. It must be known that in the fight before, Xian Rujing's tribulation thunder continuously ravaged Qin Yun, but in the end it was still unable to defeat him. Those few Xian Domain Dragon sect youngsters saw their wives turned into charcoal in a wretched state. They feel very uneasy in their hearts. They also feel very scared. Their understanding of Qin Yun and Xian Rujing is from other people's mouth. They think that Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are only initial stage and late stage martial kings. They are peak stage martial kings from Xian Domain Dragon sect. No matter what, they can defeat people with lower cultivation than them. But now it seems that it will not be so easy. Xian Rujing coldly looked at those few dragon sect disciples and said in cold voice, "Let me deal with them." As she spoke, two Snow Woman immortals flew over. At the same time an incomparably dense and cold air rushed towards those few dragon sect disciples with whistling sounds. "Don't be savage, we are peak stage martial kings. We are not people you can deal with," Long Ji furiously said. You killed Brother He, our Xian Domain Dragon Sect elders will not let you off. Qin Yun said angrily. Who asked you bastards to be lustful and bully Rujing? You brought this upon yourselves. Let alone you, even if your elders were here, I would still teach them a lesson. The two Snow Lady Immortals are like snow fairies. They are circling around those dragon sect disciples and releasing ice-cold wind. Roar. Long Ji took out a huge bronze bell. The ancient bronze bell floated in the air. As it swayed, it let out waves of dragon roars. It was not the sound of a bell. The ancient bronze bell let out waves of dragon roars. The sound waves brought with them an extremely powerful scorching wave of qi that rippled out in all directions, shaking away the icy wind and snow. Snow Lady Immortal is back. Xian Rujing promptly called back the Snow Woman Immortal, then raised her lily-white hand. Several tribulation thunder rumbled down, flickering with intense and glaring electric light. The surging violent air waves shook the big house to the point that it was about to collapse. Qin Yun gripped the Nether Soul sacred blade tightly. He will act according to the situation. Xian Rujing's face is as cold as frost. Her pure and holy white skirt fluttered, cold air burst out from her body. Her lily-white hands are nimbly dancing, controlling the tribulation thunder to attack those Xian Domain Dragon Sect disciples. Those few Dragon Sect disciples took out their Dao tools to block Xian Rujing's tribulation thunder. It must be said that these Dragon Sect disciples are very strong. Not only their Dao tools are very good, their ability to adapt to changes is also very outstanding. Otherwise, they would have been defeated by Xian Rujing's tribulation thunder filled with fury. Qin Yun is standing beside Xian Rujing. He is also very apprehensive. Xian Rujing is only late-stage martial king. She is not using any weapon or magic tool. She is only using divine ability power to suppress a few peak-stage martial kings. Those few Dragon Sect disciples are both shocked and regretful. Xian Rujing's strength caused them to feel fear. Now they are only able to block wave after wave of tribulation thunder because they have joined hands. Boom, boom, boom. The big house collapsed. Many people release their power to block to avoid being smashed. Xian Rujing is also releasing tribulation thunder to her heart's content, venting her suppressed anger. She is releasing her anger through tribulation thunder and unceasingly bombarding those few Dragon Sect disciples. Xian Rujing, you won't be able to kill us in a short time. Let's see how long you can last. Long Ji said with sneer. Our elders will arrive very soon. At that time, both of you will be done for. Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, Relax, when your elders arrive, they will only see your corpses. After she finished speaking, she glanced at the charred women. Their bodies could actually still move. After Xian Rujing looked over, several violent thunder dropped down with a rumble and hit those women's bodies, exploding them into pieces and creating a burst of air mist. Qin Yun hastily went over and under the cover of the air mist. He collected those martial spirits. They are all purple gold martial spirit. Xian Rujing, you will not have a good death. Long Ji furiously said. These few Dragon Sect disciples are now in a very difficult situation. Their wives have been killed by Xian Rujing just now. When they hit me just now, they were already dead. You brought this upon yourselves. Xian Rujing's ice-cold voice is filled with killing intent. She released tribulation thunder even more frantic and ferocious, bombarding those few Dragon Sect disciples' Dao tools and causing them to tremble incessantly. Everyone feels even more how dreadful Qin Yun is. Because before on the battle stage, Qin Yun used his body to block the tribulation thunder. Qin Yun also knows that Xian Rujing's power far exceeds his. If he did not use mental power to launch a sneak attack, he would not have been able to defeat her. And Xian Rujing feels that Qin Yun's body is very strong. Her loss is not unjust. She saw that even though those few Dragon Sect disciples used Dao tools to defend, they are still suppressed by her tribulation thunder and are unable to retaliate. She knows that her tribulation thunder is very strong. It is just that the Qin Yun she met before was a freak, that's why she was so weak. Other people are watching from the distance, their hearts are jumping with fear and trepidation, they hope that the elders will arrive quickly, otherwise those few dragon sect disciples will be killed. Brother Hei's body has been cut into two by Qin Yun. He is still lying on the ground. Boom! A tribulation thunder dropped down and shattered into pieces, splashing all over the place. This caused those few dragon sect disciples to feel incomparable fear in their hearts. It is as if they can already see their own corpses. Qin Yun is calmly watching from the side. Xian Rujing suddenly said in low voice, "A martial emperor is coming. You quickly go and kill those few little trash." Qin Yun grabbed the saber hilt, suddenly disappeared in a flash. At the same time, Xian Rujing's tribulation thunder also stopped. Elder has arrived, they are done for. Long Ji is wild with joy and loudly shouted. Qin Yun flew over in a flash. He held the nether spirit's sacred blade with both hands and hacked at Long Ji. Long Ji controlled the ancient bronze bell and flew towards Qin Yun. Qin Yun's saber hacked the ancient bronze bell into pieces. This caused many people to cry out in alarm. That was a very good Dao tool, but it was so easily hacked into pieces. Long Ji's heart ached to the extreme. When Qin Yun hacked the ancient bronze bell, he released a burst of energy mist. He entered the energy mist and disappeared without a trace. Long Ji and others originally wanted to attack, but they did not see Qin Yun come out of the energy mist. After Qin Yun disappeared, he used passing shadow extinction breath and very carefully circled behind them. Long Ji and others are after all peak stage martial kings, their perception is very strong, they also know that someone has appeared behind them. Although they can sense it, Qin Yun's saber is very fast. Qin Yun's mastery of common saber art has reached perfection. His casual saber strike is fast, accurate and ruthless, it contains a very high-level technique. The moment Qin Yun attacked, his body and consciousness perfectly fused together. He automatically analyzed the shortest saber path and accurately determined the best place to attack. Whoosh! Qin Yun's nether spirit's sacred blade chopped horizontally and chopped off Long Ji's head. Long Ji's soul has also been absorbed by the nether spirit's sacred blade. Boom! Qin Yun's palm hit Long Ji's abdomen and shook the Dao core inside, then quickly extracted the martial spirit. Long Ji has been killed. Everyone's heart trembled again. Long Ji's body was sent flying by Qin Yun's palm strike. Before she even landed on the ground, Xian Rujing released tribulation thunder and exploded her body into dregs. There are still 3 dragon sect disciples. They are shouting loudly for their elders in despair. Qin Yun directly unleashed suffering divine ability power, causing those 3 dragon sect disciples to feel pain all over their body. Then he rushed over and killed them with a few saber strikes. He put away the Dao artifact, took the martial spirit and quickly left. Boom boom boom! Xian Rujing controlled tribulation thunder to descend and explode those corpses, turning them into ashes. Spectators are shivering in fear. Death is so close. They feel that as long as Qin Yun and Xian Rujing want, they will immediately die without a burial ground. What's going on? The person who arrived is a martial emperor. He is also from Xian Domain Dragon Sect. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are still here. They did not leave because they suddenly have the same thought, they want to kill this martial emperor. The commotion they caused is not big nor small, it is very normal in Dragon King manner. After all, many people here often cause this kind of commotion when practicing martial skills. The reason why this martial emperor suddenly arrived is because a Xian Domain Dragon Sect disciple sent him sound transmission. There are many Xian Domain Dragon Sect disciples present here. Their aptitude is not the best, their cultivation is also not high, they can only hide among the crowd to avoid being killed. Seeing a martial emperor elder arrive, those Dragon Sect disciples jumped out one after another and reported the matter to the martial emperor in grief and indignation. Xian Rujing said in cold voice, Those guys I killed said that it was you elders who allowed them to attack me, is that right? After the martial emperor elder heard that those few genius disciples were killed, he is endlessly grieved and angry. Wretched girl! I will let you help me cultivate immortal veins. Old bastard, you have such filthy thoughts towards me, you will die miserably. Xian Rujing coldly shouted and then summoned Snow Woman, immortal. Chapter 873. Great Battle Against Martial Emperors. Chapter 873. Great battle against martial Emperor. Xian Rujing took out an immortal sword. She is preparing to go all out. I am a martial emperor and you are just martial kings. You cannot defeat me, you will all die. That martial emperor furiously roared. His body trembled and shook off the ice-cold power on his body. Use immortal sealing frost. Xian Rujing lightly yelled. Two Snow Woman immortals' bodies suddenly flickered and turned into white mist, then whizzed up and wrapped up that martial emperor. Qin Yun also promptly rushed over and released suffering divine ability power. H. That martial emperor immediately screamed in pain. Everyone is incomparably shocked. They moved far away. They did not expect that Qin Yun and Xian Rujing would actually dare to attack a martial emperor. Those dragon sect disciples are also shocked. While they are shocked, Qin Yun controlled 5 throwing knives and flew back and forth, rushing towards those dragon sect disciples. As the throwing knives madly danced and pierced, those dragon sect disciples screamed again and fell down one after another. Xian Rujing waved her hand. Tribulation thunder fell down like rain, producing heaven and earth shaking explosion and turning those dragon sect disciples into dregs. Dragon King Manor's disciples turned deathly pale in fear. Those were Xian Domain Dragon Sect's outstanding disciples. Everyone can guess that those disciples were brought here to avoid getting involved in Xian Domain's disputes. They came here to hide. But now, it has been turned into dregs by Qin Yun and Xian Rujing in one go. Nobody expected that Qin Yun and Xian Rujing's cooperation would be so heaven-defying. Everyone recalled what happened earlier and felt that Xian Domain Dragon Sect people courted death first. If they did not want to forcibly capture Xian Rujing and take her virginity, they would not have ended up in this situation. That frozen martial emperor's body is also suffering from pain and torment. Qin Yun rushed over in a flash, gathered his strongest power, brandished the nether spirit's sacred blade, and vigorously hacked towards that martial emperor's neck. Rumble! When the nether spirit's sacred blade hacked down, it was suddenly repelled by a very strong power. Qin Yun's hand, that is tightly holding the nether spirit's sacred blade, has been split open and bleeding. Are you all right? Xian Rujing promptly asked. Her tone is filled with concern. I'm fine. Qin Yun promptly switched hands and hacked at the martial emperor again. Although he did not know why he was repelled, this was a good opportunity to kill that martial emperor. Hence, he could only attack again. You adulterous couple! The martial emperor roared. His body flashed with a burst of golden light. It's the dragon's repulse. Qin Yun was astonished. He never expected that the protective dragon handle could be cultivated to such a stage. It was actually so terrifying. Xian Rujing yelled. Quickly come back! Qin Yun promptly retreated to one side. Xian Rujing controlled the tribulation thunder to bombard the martial emperor. Xian Rujing's eyebrows are tightly creased. She somewhat anxiously said, My strength is not enough. If I was a peak martial king, I would have killed that bastard long ago. Qin Yun promptly took out the Lion King cannon and loaded it with a martial king Dao core. At the same time, he took out Long Chuanwu's half-immortal shield and threw it to Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing took it and asked, What do you want to do? Qin Yun stood beside Xian Rujing and said, Wait a moment, control the shield to block. Xian Rujing looked at the Lion King cannon on Qin Yun's shoulder. She doesn't know what he wants to do. When the martial emperor saw that their juniors had died, he immediately roared in rage. Begin! Qin Yun shot a Martial King Dao Core cannonball from the Lion King cannon. The Lion King cannon suddenly trembled and let out a roar. Xian Rujing sensed an incomparably dreadful energy coming out from the Lion King cannon. She is horrified in her heart. She promptly stood in front of Qin Yun and used her shield to block. The Martial King Dao Core shot by the Lion King cannon flew out like a meteor, leaving behind a light trail as it bombarded the Martial Emperor. It must be known that the Dao Core shot by the Lion King cannon is strengthened by all kinds of runes. It is very dreadful. Boom! The cannonball hit the Martial Emperor's body and exploded with an incomparably intense energy. The violent explosion gave rise to a burst of flame. It is as if a huge wave of gale rushed out in all direction. The surrounding few-kilometer radius of this area was instantly enveloped by the explosion. The ground split open. The Emperor Dragon Courtyard, which is specially used to receive distinguished guests, has also been razed to the ground by the explosion. The most dreadful thing is that more than half of the buildings in the vicinity of the Emperor Dragon Courtyard have collapsed. The Emperor Dragon Courtyard has disappeared without a trace. A 2 to 3 kilometer wide crater has appeared on the ground. Everyone is floating in the sky. They are dumbstruck. Their hearts are filled with fear as they look down. That Martial Emperor's clothes have become tattered from the explosion. His body is full of cracks. One of his arms has even been blown off. You! What did you do? That Martial Emperor is also scared. He can sense the might of the Dao Core explosion. What did I do? Of course I want to kill you, Qin Yun said with sneer. Xian Rujing ordered the Snow Woman Immortal to use all her strength to freeze the Martial Emperor. Qin Yun's body flashed and chopped down with his saber. The Nether Soul Sacred Blades cracked-looking blade landed on the Martial Emperor's head. Like cutting tofu, the powerful Martial Emperor's body was split in half. Qin Yun released a black energy mist and enveloped them, then inserted his hand into that old man's abdomen and took out the martial spirit and Dao Core inside. After Qin Yun withdrew from the black mist, Xian Rujing's tribulation thunder also dropped down and frantically hacked down on that Martial Emperor's body. Everyone's body is in a mess because of the explosion. They are still immersed in shock and have yet to recover. Now they can see that Martial Emperor's body has been smashed into pieces. Their bodies trembled in fear. A formidable Martial Emperor has been killed by 2 young Martial Kings just like that. Martial Emperors are the strongest under half-immortals in a faction. They are very important backbone power. Losing even one of them was a heavy loss. Moreover, Xian Domain Dragon Sect's Martial Emperor is not weak, yet he was killed by 2 Martial Kings. The commotion here is very big. Many half-immortals, Martial Emperors and Martial Kings are rushing over from all direction. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing sense the energy wave coming from all direction and are somewhat alarmed. Xian Rujing said in low voice, "You should be able to take me and run away, right?" "I can." Qin Yun pulled Xian Rujing and used transparent power to make the 2 of them become transparent and disappear. Then they rushed towards 9 Dragon Devil Prison. There is an immortal dragon in 9th floor of 9 Dragon Devil Prison. It has enough power to protect Qin Yun. Qin Yun used his fastest speed to bring Xian Rujing to the bottom of 9 Dragon Devil Prison. Then he took out a command token, flew up and entered 9th floor. Heavenly Dragon Sect, Xian Domain Dragon Sect, and Long Family's experts also arrived at the destroyed Emperor Dragon Courtyard. They are all here. Qin Yun doesn't know what happened next. He is also not worried about Long Yutsong. Long Tsangxing is there to protect him. If Long Tsangxing can't hold on, he can run away with Long Yutsong. Long Bei saw Qin Yun bringing a beautiful woman over and asked, "What happened outside? The commotion is very big." "A bunch of bastards bullied us. I don't feel like teaching them how to behave. I directly killed them and sent them back to the furnace to be reforged." Xian Rujing lightly groaned and said. She recalled how she was beaten up by those lowly bastards. The anger in her heart has not dissipated. Qin Yun promptly explained the situation to Long Bei. Long Bei coldly groaned and said, Xian Domain Dragon Sect people, they originally looked down on spirit desolate ordinary realms Dragon King Manor, now they are like stray dogs, hiding with their tails between their legs. Qin Yun curiously asked, Senior, what is the overall strength of Xian Domain Dragon Sect? Long Bei thought about it and said, I don't know about the current situation, they were very strong back then. But now it seems like they are just like that, otherwise they would not have come here. Xian Rujing said, The reason why Heavenly Dragon Sect came down from Immortal Desolate is to help Dragon King Manor fight against Jian family and at the same time capture a guy called Qin Yun. That bastard Qin Yun has great ability. He has Wild Flame Inscription Spirit and Star Lord Inscription Spirit. He even destroyed a small-scale Long family manor. Qin Yun secretly curled his lips. He is that bastard Qin Yun. Xian Rujing only knows that his surname is Yun, she doesn't know that he is Qin Yun, she has never even seen his true appearance. Oh, that's right, that bastard Qin Yun has a very awesome Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. He even obtained Heavenly Lion Inheritance. This is something that Heavenly Dragon Sect is very concerned about. Xian Rujing said again. Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron is a kind of magic tool that can evolve. I heard that it can become a sacred tool in the future. Long Bei said with frown after hearing this. No wonder Heavenly Dragon Sect came down. Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron was sealed in Martial Desolate. How can it suddenly appear? That is the nightmare of dragon race. Xian Rujing nodded and said, According to legend, dragon race have 9 dragon totem, Heavenly Lion also have 9 lion totem, and Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron has 9 lion totem. Heavenly Lion race has been extinct for many years and dragon race is a tyrannical existence in every great desolate. If Heavenly Lions rise again, your dragon race will be suppressed again. Suddenly someone shouted from outside. Senior Long Bei, did a bald brat bring a woman to your place? Someone asked from outside. Indeed, what's the matter? Long Bei replied. They killed many of our people, Senior Long Bei, can you hand them over? That person asked again. So it is like this? Then they are Dragon King Manor's enemies? Long Bei asked in reply. Indeed. They have committed a grave crime. That person outside loudly said. All right, I'll eat them now. Long Bei said with smile. That man and woman look very good. I have not eaten people for a long time. Let me eat to my heart's content now. A group of old people under the 9-dragon devil prison secretly rejoiced after hearing this because they were worried that Long Bei would protect them. An old man said, Then many thanks, Senior. That group of people also left in high spirits. They are very confident in Long Bei. Even though they respectfully call Long Bei Senior, in their hearts they still consider Long Bei to be their Dragon King Manor's servant, loyal and devoted. After Long Bei saw them leave, he said with smile, A group of idiots, just casually send them away. Chapter 874. Making use of origin stones. The majority of the people who left the 9-dragon devil prison were rather happy because the Baldy that they hated and envied for a long time was finally killed. Only those old men from the Xian Domain's dragon sect are unable to feel happy. That is because the younger generation they brought were all killed. That was a seedling of the profound domain dragon sect. Dragon King Manor's older generation are very happy. They already found Xian Domain Dragon Sect to be an eyesore. Now that a group of young and outstanding saplings have died, it made them feel like flowers are blooming in their hearts. Originally, the Dragon King Manor was the strongest Long family faction in the spirit desolate ordinary realm. But after Heavenly Dragon Sect came, they wanted to control the Dragon King Manor. Later on, because they went to explore the bloody evil dragon cave, they lost a lot of people, so their overall strength weakened a lot. Then they lost the dragon spirit and the searching dragon plate. Long Chuanwu is also finished. This caused Heavenly Dragon Sect to suffer another blow. When Dragon King Manor's people thought that they could challenge Heavenly Dragon Sect, who would have thought that Xian Domain Dragon Sect would appear, making their Dragon King Manor suffer unspeakably. Now, the Xian Domain Dragon Sect that suddenly appeared also suffered a great loss. Although the Dragon King Manor's current strength cannot be compared to the Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect, they feel much better. In the 9th floor of the 9-Dragon Devil Prison, Xian Rujing took out a blanket, spread it on the ground, then sat on it and said, Xian Domain Dragon Sect, Heavenly Dragon Sect, Dragon King Manor, if they want to unite, they must choose a faction to be their leader. Long Bei said with smile. In the bottom of their hearts, none of the 3 factions are willing to accept each other, right? They're probably going to fight to the death. Xian Rujing said with sneer. That's right, especially Heavenly Dragon Sect. They came from the Immortal Desolate, so they must feel that they are the most qualified. Qin Yun sat beside Xian Rujing and said, Rujing, you don't look stupid at all. How could you be so infatuated with this idiot Long Chuanwu? Xian Rujing coldly glared at Qin Yun. Everyone has a time when they are young. Besides, I reined in the horse before the cliff, so I didn't lose anything. Long Chuanwu and Heavenly Dragon Sect's people suffered disastrous losses. After she finished speaking, she pushed Qin Yun out of the blanket and said, I want to cultivate, you go to the side. Qin Yun curled his lips, then arrived beside Long Bei and said, Senior, the matter we talked about before, it is progressing rather smoothly, then. Qin Yun informed Long Bei about Long Tsangxing. Long Bei has a very deep impression of Long Tsangxing, he said with smile. That little guy's comprehension is very good. Back then I only gave him pointers casually. I just need to wait for Grandpa to finish the task at hand. Qin Yun said. I hope nothing else happens during this period of time. Long Bei said. He was also very excited in his heart, because as a slave, the time for him to hold his head high has arrived. Senior, did the Dragon King Manor's Manor Master discover your matter? Qin Yun asked. No. Long Bei shook his head. I also don't know what is going on. The Manor Master is very mysterious. I don't even know where he is. Qin Yun said in low voice. Long Tsangxing also told him about the Manor Master before. The Dragon King Manor caused such a huge commotion, yet the Manor Lord did not appear. This is indeed very suspicious. Xian Rujing also knows about Qin Yun's group. She very much wants to see whether or not Dragon King Manor will be wiped out. She bitterly hates those bastards from Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect. They always want to use her to cultivate immortal veins. She is also very unhappy with Qin Yun because he does not want to use her at all, making her feel that she is not attractive at all. Dragon King Manor's Manor Master is probably done for, Xian Rujing said. Qin Yun and Long Bei looked at her. They are somewhat puzzled. Big Sister Rujing, how do you know about this matter? Qin Yun asked. I heard those old guys from Heavenly Dragon Sect and Dragon King Manor privately say that Dragon King Manor's Manor Master entered the bloody evil dragon cave and never came out. Xian Rujing took out a Regent Origin stone while speaking. Speaking of the bloody evil dragon cave, Long Bei's expression became anxious as he said, There is a devil dragon below the bloody evil dragon cave. It is a very dangerous existence. Xian Rujing said, That devil dragon won't dare to come out, otherwise it will be sucked into Immortal Desolate. Let's not care about this. We will finish our plan and leave this place. Long Bei said, then entered the 8th floor to guide Wu Long in cultivation. Rujing, how many Regent Origin stones do you have? Qin Yun asked. Xian Rujing is holding a Regent Origin stone in her hand. She is currently absorbing energy. More than 40. Regent Origin stones are very useful for martial kings and martial emperors. Their only weakness is that their absorption speed is very slow. It is very difficult to extract energy from them. Xian Rujing lightly sighed and said, Qin Yun also has Regent Origin stones, but he has not used them yet. He also took out one and discovered that it is indeed very difficult to extract energy from it. Even though he has 9 Sun Divine Soul and Nether Sun's devouring power, his absorption speed is still very slow. Xian Rujing saw Qin Yun's tightly knitted brows and said with sneer, Don't try. I have immortal veins, my absorption speed is very fast, you are definitely slower than me. Qin Yun is very unconvinced after hearing this, he said with smile. Rujing, let's compete, my absorption speed is faster than yours, how about you kiss me? Xian Rujing disdainfully smiled and said, If you are slower than me, give me a Regent Origin stone, how about it? No problem, how are we going to compete? Qin Yun asked. Xian Rujing took out 2 transparent small pearls and said, We will absorb the energy from the Regent Origin stone and pour it into these pearls within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. The more energy in the Regent Origin stone, the heavier the pearls will be. Alright. Qin Yun took one of the pearls. Xian Rujing lit an incense stick and began. Qin Yun absorbed a lot of energy through Nether Sun's devouring power and 9 Sun Divine Soul and quickly poured it into the pearls. Xian Rujing is also very serious and began to extract very dense golden energy from the Regent Origin stone. Qin Yun secretly sensed and discovered to his amazement that Xian Rujing has 8 meridians. She can extract 8 kinds of 9 sun energy. No wonder this woman is so strong, she actually has 8 meridians. Moreover, she can help other people cultivate immortal veins. Her position in Immortal Desolate must be very high. Qin Yun secretly exclaimed in admiration. Not long after, the incense stick finished burning. Xian Rujing said with proud expression, You will lose for sure. Then they began to weigh their little beads. Xian Rujing's is 1 jin 8 liang, Qin Yun's is 2 jin 5 liang. Ha! I won, come, give me a kiss. Qin Yun pouted and moved his head closer to Xian Rujing. Scram! Xian Rujing delicately shouted and sent a palm attack towards Qin Yun's face. Qin Yun promptly dodged, curled his lips and said, I knew you would act shamelessly, mangy ice mother tigress. Xian Rujing gritted her jade-like teeth in anger and yelled, You bastard, how can you always beat me? I clearly have 8 immortal veins, I can extract 8 kinds of 9 sun energy, how can you be faster than me? Qin Yun said with smile, This is my awesome point. Xian Rujing groaned in a very bad mood, she feels as if she is seeing a ghost. She was very outstanding in Immortal Desolate, after coming to Spirit Desolate Ordinary Realm, with her talent, no one should be able to match her. But she met a monster like Qin Yun. Rujing, you are experienced and knowledgeable in Immortal Desolate, have you heard of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra? Qin Yun asked. Guang Han Palace's Sun and Moon Heart Sutra? Of course I have heard of it, but it has been lost. Guang Han Palace was destroyed and sealed, all the people inside disappeared in a single night. Legend has it that most of them suffered disastrous casualties. Xian Rujing let out a long sigh and said, If Guang Han Palace was still here, I would have already entered Guang Han Palace, I would not have come to this damned place, I would not have met a bastard like you. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, You bit me so many times, I only touched you 2 or 3 times, do you need to hold a grudge? You even stole my peach before, look at how magnanimous I am, I do not hold a grudge, moreover I treat you as a friend. You bastard, I will bite you to death. Xian Rujing suddenly flipped out, she jumped up and pounced towards Qin Yun. Qin Yun promptly dodged and yelled, I was wrong. I was wrong. I won't mention Dragon Claw anymore. Xian Rujing gasped for breath and yelled, You dead man, one day I will defeat you. Big Sister Rujing, I have a method that will allow you to absorb Regent Origin Stones even faster, it will allow you to better utilize the energy of Regent Origin Stones. Qin Yun suddenly said, Speak, if you are still messing with me, I will bite you to death. Xian Rujing opened her mouth and made a bite gesture, just like a tiger. There are only wrong names, there are no wrong nicknames. This ice mother tigress is indeed not called for nothing. Qin Yun said, Rujing, you have seen my wife, right? Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, I met her, she is very beautiful, she has a kind of unique temperament. What a pity, all the good dishes were given to a pig like you. Ice mother tigress, can you be a bit more polite? No wonder you were so infatuated with Long Chuanwu, no one has ever chased after a shrewish tigress like you, right? Only Long Chuanwu. Qin Yun's words caused Xian Rujing's eyes to become even more ferocious, just like an angry tiger. Continue talking about how you can absorb regent origin stones faster. Xian Rujing roared. My wife knows Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Let her teach you, then we will cultivate Sun and Moon Heart Sutra together. You absorb regent origin stones, I will also absorb regent origin stones, wouldn't this be very fast? Qin Yun said with smile. Bastard, since your wife knows Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, don't you know that we need to trust each other to cultivate together? Do you think we can trust each other? Xian Rujing said in a bad mood. I trust you very much. Then again, I put the slave governing collar on you, you are my slave, how can you not trust me? Qin Yun said with smile. Xian Rujing became angry after hearing Qin Yun's words. She furiously said, You still dare to mention the slave governing collar? We are clearly on the same side, why did you use that thing on me? Now it is good, I can't take it off. Chapter 875. Immortal Desolate Brand Xian Rujing has long heard of the miraculous effect of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra in Immortal Desolate. But her understanding of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra is very limited. Now hearing Qin Yun mention it, she became very curious. You can truly cultivate Sun and Moon Heart Sutra together with your wife? Xian Rujing somewhat doesn't believe Qin Yun and said, You bastard, how did she trust you so much? Of course it is true. Actually, this kind of trust is very subtle. I only relied on my intuition. I believe that you and I can trust each other, there is no problem. Qin Yun said with smile. Why do you think I trust you? Xian Rujing very unhappily said, You are not worthy of trust no matter how I look at it. Qin Yun chuckled and said, Even if you acted shamelessly before, I still trust you. You said that if you lose, you will kiss me. Even though you went back on your words, I did not lose trust in you. Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, Don't expect me to kiss you, keep dreaming. Xian Rujing is very cautious towards this kind of intimate action. Qin Yun said with smile, You were so calm when you started killing before, wasn't it because you believed that I could bring you away safely? This is a kind of psychological trust. Didn't you trust me at the crucial moment? If you thought I was unreliable, would you dare to mess around in the Emperor Dragon courtyard? Xian Rujing didn't say anything because the situation back then was indeed like that. At that time, she truly entrusted her safety to Qin Yun. On one hand, she knew that Qin Yun is very capable, on the other hand, she felt an indescribable sense of relief towards Qin Yun from the bottom of her heart. When cultivating together, how many people can cultivate together? Will the result be better? Xian Rujing asked. To tell you the truth, at most times, I can cultivate with a few women at the same time. That result is absolutely the best. Especially when cultivation is equal, everyone will benefit. Qin Yun said with smile. You womanizer big radish. Xian Rujing cursed in low voice. Hey, don't talk nonsense about me. Your beloved Chuanwu visited all the brothels in Dragon King City. In this aspect, I am who knows how many times cleaner than him. Qin Yun said with smile. If you talk nonsense about that bastard again, I will bite off a piece of your flesh. Xian Rujing said in cold voice. All right, I won't say any more. Qin Yun curled his lips and said. Call out your wife, let her teach me Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Xian Rujing finally decided to give it a try. She wanted to improve her cultivation as soon as possible. Xiao Yueme also agreed to impart Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to Xian Rujing. Therefore, she very earnestly explained Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing's perception is very high, she very quickly grasped the essentials. Xiao Yueme's understanding of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra is very thorough, she can easily let Xian Rujing learn it. Little sister, are you really that bastard's wife? That guy should not have a wife. Xian Rujing glared at Qin Yun. Big sister Rujing, I am not his wife. Xiao Yueme laughed. I knew it. Did that guy use some method to enslave you? Has he ever bullied you? I'll help you teach him a lesson. Xian Rujing asked a series of questions. Thinking about how the charming and pleasant Xiao Yueme was enslaved, she became very angry in her heart. Xiao Yueme promptly said, Big sister Rujing, I am his wife's little sister. He treats me very well. What? His wife's little sister? Xian Rujing found it even more difficult to accept in her heart. She is thinking about beautiful sisters and what not. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Big sister Rujing, don't think too much. How about we start cultivating together? Yueme, are you coming? I am not coming, I still have things to do. Xiao Yueme giggled and said, Big sister Rujing, when you are cultivating together, you will be in charge. You should properly familiarize yourself first. Alright, Qin Yun said. Xian Rujing feels that she has learned enough and said to Qin Yun, I still don't know your true identity and appearance, it is hard for me to trust you like this. Qin Yun thought about it and glanced at Xiao Yueme. Xiao Yueme waved her hand towards Qin Yun and Qin Yun's body began to change. Originally he was small and skinny, but now he gradually became tall and sturdy, hair also grew on his head. Not long after, a tall and handsome man appeared in front of Xian Rujing with clear and bright smile on his face. Qin Yun has revealed his true appearance. You. I think I have seen you before. Xian Rujing recalled something and took out a portrait. It is Qin Yun's portrait. She carefully compared the portrait and loudly yelled, You are Qin Yun? Qin Yun nodded with smile and said, That's me. Am I not very handsome? Xian Rujing lightly groaned and said, Hateful bastard. She only heard some things about Qin Yun, she doesn't know much about him but she knows that he is a very formidable person. Qin Yun, who is hated to the bone by those elders of the Dragon King Manor, is actually inside the Dragon King Manor and has caused so many troubles. Furthermore, Heavenly Dragon Sect's target is Qin Yun but they are like a group of idiots, they are running around in circles. Long Chuanwu has been killed. Xiao Yueme returned to the first pearl of 9 Sun Divine Soul. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are preparing to cultivate together. Qin Yun said with smile, Big sister Rujing, now you know who I am, you should feel relieved. Xian Rujing stored the portrait and said with cold groan, You are too treacherous. She also made way for Qin Yun to sit on her blanket. After Qin Yun sat on the blanket, he extended his hand and grabbed Xian Rujing's wrist. Xian Rujing also grabbed his wrist. Both of them placed their other hand on a Regent Origin stone and began absorbing the energy inside. Let's begin. If it doesn't work, we will quickly give up to avoid injury. Xian Rujing said. All right. Qin Yun nodded. He is somewhat nervous in his heart. Xian Rujing deeply inhaled and began operating Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Qin Yun began absorbing the energy inside the Regent Origin Stone and poured it into Xian Rujing's body. Very soon, Xian Rujing smoothly received the energy from Qin Yun's Regent Origin Stone and fused it with the energy she absorbed. Then she controlled the energy to circulate inside her body. After being tempered by her formidable immortal body, the energy has become a lot stronger and flowed back into Qin Yun's body. After Qin Yun absorbed Xian Rujing's energy, he is secretly apprehensive. He did not expect it to become this much stronger. We succeeded, Qin Yun said with smile. Humph. Xian Rujing also did not expect that she would actually trust Qin Yun in her heart. Qin Yun used Immortal Devil Sacred Body to wash and polish the energy inside Xian Rujing's body. At the same time, he absorbed the energy inside the Regent Origin Stone and let Nether Sun absorb part of it. Then he transferred the rest of the energy into Xian Rujing's body. Originally it was only one portion of energy, but after being repeatedly upgraded by Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, it became 2 portions and became even stronger. This is the miraculous effect of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Xian Rujing can sense that the energy Qin Yun is transferring is very strong. She finds it inconceivable and secretly praised the profoundness of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Big Sister Rujing, how will you return to Immortal Desolate later? Qin Yun asked. He has always been very curious about this matter. There is a secret passage inside transcending Xianxi region that leads to Immortal Desolate. Naturally, it will not be easy to pass through. Xian Rujing said. I heard there is an immortal gate inside transcending Xianxi region that leads to Immortal Desolate. I did not expect it to be true. Qin Yun said in amazement. That immortal gate has always existed. But it will not be easy for you to pass through, but it will not be a problem for me. Why? Qin Yun asked. Because I was born in Immortal Desolate. I have the brand of Immortal Desolate on my body. If one is not born in Immortal Desolate, it will be very difficult to pass through that passage. You should honestly cross half Immortal Tribulation. Later when you go to Immortal Desolate, I will protect you. Qin Yun doesn't need Xian Rujing's protection. He has many connections in Immortal Desolate. For example, Yu is an immortal king. He suddenly feels that his imperial beast Heavenly King brother might have also run to transcending Xianxi region. Maybe he has already returned to Immortal Desolate. Xian Rujing is very eager to break through cultivation. Now that she is cultivating together with Qin Yun, she is very happy in her heart because it will allow her to break through even faster. With this speed, roughly how long will it take for you to break through? Qin Yun asked. About 3 months. Xian Rujing thought about it and said. Qin Yun has just entered mid-stage Martial King realm. He cannot break through in a short period of time, so he is temporarily thinking about breaking through. Yueme, don't you need to cultivate? Qin Yun asked Xiao Yueme inside the 9 Sun Divine Soul. Brother, you can be at ease. If I didn't have to suppress my soul, my cultivation would have advanced by leaps and bounds. Not to mention me, even Big Sister Yang, Aunt, Little Malian and others who have past life can break through very quickly. They have past life's cultivation memories. So long as the time is right, they can easily break through. Xiao Yueme said with smile. Qin Yun is secretly envious hearing her words. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing cultivated together for more than 10 days. Long Bei also came out from 8th floor. Long Bei saw Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are together. He did not disturb them and returned to 8th floor. After cultivating for more than half a month, Xian Rujing has a very good feeling. Qin Yun said with smile. Big Sister Rujing, if you want to cultivate together in the future, as long as I have time, I will accompany you anytime. Of course, I also hope that you can find a good man who can cultivate together with you in the future. Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, I have already decided to be single for the rest of my life. It is enough for me to cultivate together with you. In that case, it seems like I am suffering a loss. Qin Yun said. What loss? You also obtained a lot of benefits from cultivating together. Xian Rujing glared at him and said again, What? Don't tell me you want me to help you cultivate Immortal Vein? Qin Yun said, I will have to consult my wife about this matter. Xian Rujing rolled her eyes and said, Dream on. I will not let anyone cultivate Immortal Vein through my body. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I don't care about your smelly body. Chapter 876. Sacred Sun Spirit Vein. Qin Yun burst into loud laughter and said, "You are my female slave. If I truly wanted you, do you think you could resist me?" Xian Rujing became very unhappy thinking about this matter, but she has no choice because she was the one who courted death. Big Sister Rujing, why is your body so miraculous? Whoever has sex with you will be able to cultivate an immortal meridian. Is this true? Qin Yun asked in a very curious manner. Of course it is true. Because my immortal veins are very special, they are called dual spirit immortal veins. If you can obtain my virgin body, not only you can cultivate immortal veins, the number of immortal veins in your body will also be the same as mine. Xian Rujing paused for a bit and said again, I have 8 immortal veins. Even if you only have 1 spirit vein, as long as you obtain me, you will also have 8 immortal veins. After Ling Yuner heard this, she shouted at Qin Yun, Xiao Yun, quickly take her. Your 1 sun spirit meridian will immediately become an 8 sun immortal meridian. Quickly push her down. Qin Yun feels that this is inconceivable and also very astonished. Xian Rujing saw Qin Yun's astonished expression and very flirtatiously laughed. Qin Yun, are you having some thoughts about me? Qin Yun said with smile. Big Sister Rujing, I will tell you the truth. Even though I truly only have 1 spirit vein, I have never had any improper thoughts about you. The reason why I used Dragon Claw Hand on you before was because I could not restrain myself from retaliating. You truly only have 1 spirit vein? Xian Rujing is greatly alarmed. She promptly used her other hand and placed it on Qin Yun's chest and said, I will check it out. After Xian Rujing carefully checked, she said with frown, It is indeed so. It is not easy for a guy with only 1 spirit vein to cultivate to this level. Moreover, your body is very strong. It seems like you have cultivated a mortal body. She is also secretly exclaiming in admiration at the strange phenomenon happening to Qin Yun's body, because it is completely illogical. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, That is why I never cared about your immortal veins. Xian Rujing continued checking and suddenly let out an "e" sound. She tightly frowned and said, Your spirit vein is very special. It is not ordinary 1 spirit vein. Not ordinary 1 spirit vein? Then what is it? Qin Yun immediately became very interested. Let's stop cultivating first. I will carefully check what is going on. Xian Rujing said. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing's entangled hands also gradually loosened. After loosening her grip, Xian Rujing felt a trace of peculiar feeling in her heart. It is as if she is very empty. Moreover, she is also very reluctant to part with that feeling just now. Now, she pressed her hands on Qin Yun's chest and closed her eyes to feel it. Qin Yun asked Yun, Yuner, you are my Tao spirit. My spirit vein is very special, why don't you know? Ling Yuner snorted, I'm not really omniscient. I was just bragging before. The world is so big and there are all kinds of mysteries. I'm just a little Tao spirit. How can I know so much? Xian Rujing checked for a while and exclaimed in admiration, Your spirit vein is a very rare sacred sun spirit vein. After Xian Rujing checked for a while, she exclaimed in admiration and said, Your spirit vein is a very rare sacred sun spirit vein. I originally had many spirit veins, others have been taken away by others, only this one is left. Xian Rujing looked at Qin Yun in amazement and said, Your sacred sun spirit vein is formed after birth. What exactly happened to your body? Xian Rujing looked at Qin Yun in amazement and said, Your sacred sun spirit vein was formed after birth. What exactly happened to your body? It can grow into sacred sun spirit vein in the future. With sacred sun spirit vein, you can enter sacred desolate. Ling Yuner said to Qin Yun at this time, Xiao Yun, I know about sacred sun spirit vein. If you only have 9 sun divine spirit, it is not enough because it is only a thing, it is not your sacred sun spirit vein. Actually, those immortal emperors and great emperors all want to go to sacred desolate, but they cannot cultivate sacred sun spirit vein, so they can only stay in immortal desolate. Qin Yun heard that dragon immortal great emperor went to sacred desolate, heavenly lion old ancestor also went there. He secretly suspected that the reason why his lonely spirit vein could grow into a sacred sun spirit vein is most likely due to the 9 sun divine spirit, heavenly lion inheritance, and nether Sunday. In short, it is a very good thing, Qin Yun said with smile. Isn't my sacred sun spirit vein more awesome than your immortal spirit vein? Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, Indeed. How can your luck be so good? This is my fate. Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, To be honest, during my childhood, I also encountered all kind of setbacks. Soon after, Qin Yun used a very desolate tone to narrate his childhood experiences. Xian Rujing is after all a woman, her eyes revealed a trace of sympathy. But recalling Qin Yun's evil dragon claw, the sympathy in her heart disappeared in a short while. Qin Yun, don't let anyone know that you have sacred sun spirit vein. Otherwise your spirit vein will be completely extracted. Xian Rujing warned in strict voice. Only you know, don't let anyone know. Qin Yun said. Do you look like that kind of person? Even though I hate you, I won't harm you like this. Xian Rujing pouted and said again. Then again, without my help, your sacred sun spirit vein will forever be a spirit vein, it will never become an immortal vein. Let's say it like this, after spirit vein evolves, it becomes an immortal vein. After immortal vein evolves, it becomes a sacred vein. If you want to cultivate immortal vein on your own, it will be very difficult. Qin Yun said, Relax. I will not do anything to you that is worse than a pig or a dog just to cultivate immortal vein. Xian Rujing lightly bit her lips, looking at Qin Yun, her eyes flickered with a peculiar light. Qin Yun looked at Xian Rujing's beautiful eyes and came into contact with that strange expression. His entire body immediately felt unwell. He also doesn't know why, but Xian Rujing's strange expression is even more frightening than when she was trying to bite him. Why are you looking at me like that? Qin Yun said in low voice. My elders have told me before. So long as I find a man with sacred sun spirit vein, I can use dual spirit immortal vein to assimilate our spirit vein and immortal vein. If everything goes smoothly, my 8 immortal vein will also become 9 sacred sun immortal vein. And you will also have 9 sacred sun immortal vein. This is a kind of perfect assimilation and fusion. Xian Rujing also felt that these words are very strange. Qin Yun immediately shouted, Fuck, in his heart because he can feel that Xian Rujing wants to do him. I am a married man, don't have any ideas about me. Qin Yun hastily said. I don't have any ideas about you, I am only telling you. Telling you these things, I don't have any other ideas, don't randomly guess my thoughts. Xian Rujing's expression changed, she coldly groaned and said. Xian Rujing, you said before that you would be single for life, you must keep your promise. Don't have any improper thoughts about me. Qin Yun said. Stop dreaming. Even if all the men in this world die and you are the only one left, I will not have any ideas about you. Xian Rujing furiously said. I hope you won't act shamelessly in the future. Qin Yun said with an expression of disbelief. Xian Rujing coldly looked at Qin Yun, her tone is filled with threat. If you let your imagination run wild and talk nonsense again, don't blame me for being impolite. I let my imagination run wild, and I am talking nonsense. Come on, bite me. Qin Yun made a face at Xian Rujing. He looks like he is asking for a beating. Xian Rujing promptly turned her back to Qin Yun, otherwise she would really pounce on him and bite him. She doesn't want to talk to Qin Yun now, she wants to properly calm down. She really did not expect that this hateful Qin Yun would have the sacred sun spirit vein that she has been looking for a long time. Just now, she indeed had that kind of thought in her heart. because the enticement of cultivating 9 sacred sun, immortal vein, is too great. She grew up in immortal desolate, she is very clear what this means. Seeing that Xian Rujing is ignoring him, Qin Yun curled his lips in his heart and went to chat with Xiao Yueme. But Xiao Yueme did not reply. She is looking at a regent stone mother in a daze. It is as if she has entered a kind of selfless state. Qin Yun can only go find Yao Fang. Sister Yao Fang, have you made any progress in that Dao technique? Qin Yun asked. No. Yao Fang coldly replied. Sister Yao Fang, I met a very interesting woman. She came from immortal desolate, she is only a martial king. Qin Yun said again. Humph. You little bastard, even if you met 100 women, I would not be surprised. Yao Fang coldly groaned and said. That woman has some dual spirit 8 immortal vein, she even said I have some sacred sun spirit vein. Qin Yun said again. What? You have sacred sun spirit vein? Is this true? Yao Fang's tone is no longer ice cold, it is filled with shock. That woman said it, I am also not sure. Who knows if she saw it wrong or not? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I don't have any other feeling, I also don't know why you are making such a fuss about nothing. Yao Fang anxiously said, What do you know? If she truly has dual spirit immortal vein, then with you, through your sacred sun spirit vein, she will be able to cultivate 9 sacred veins. So long as she cultivates 9 sacred veins, even if she is only an immortal king, she can easily enter sacred desolate. You don't know, those immortal desolate great emperor and devil immortal great emperor want to enter sacred desolate even in their dreams, but they can't even cultivate a single sacred vein. If people find out that you have sacred sun spirit vein, you will be in danger. The ones who will attack you are definitely those formidable immortal kings or immortal emperors who want to cultivate sacred veins. Qin Yun carefully thought about it and immediately became extremely shocked. Then he looked at Xian Rujing. He is now very worried that Xian Rujing will do something to him. Qin Yun, that woman. You should be a bit nicer to her. If there is a need in the future, you can be a bit vulgar. After all, it will allow both of you to cultivate 9 sacred veins. It will be very beneficial to both of you. Yao Fang said again. Qin Yun really did not expect Yao Fang to say this kind of words. Sister Yao Fang, I am Yuelan's husband. Qin Yun said in a bad mood. Xian Rujing sensed that Qin Yun is staring at her. She abruptly turned around and said in low voice. Qin Yun, you must remember my words. Don't spread the matter of you having sacred sun spirit vein everywhere. Then can I tell my wife? Qin Yun asked. Sure, but you can't tell her about me, otherwise she will misunderstand. Xian Rujing said again. Qin Yun nodded. Long Tsangxing's yell suddenly came from outside. Chapter 877. Origin stone carving runes. Long Tsangxing's arrival caused Qin Yun to be somewhat amazed. He immediately calculated the time. Long Tsangxing should not have finished his task so quickly. Long Bei came up from the 8th floor and looked at Qin Yun. He discovered that he is no longer that baldy, but he knows that he is still the same person from before. He can sense it from his aura. I will bring him in, Long Bei said and then flew out. The exit of 9 Dragon Devil Prison is at the 9th floor. The barrier here is controlled by Long Bei. Only with his permission or his command token can one enter and exit freely. Long Bei quickly brought Long Tsangxing in. Long Tsangxing looked at Qin Yun. Even though this is an unfamiliar face, he knows that this is that crafty bald brat from before. Hello, grandfather, Qin Yun said with smile. It's good that you are fine. Long Tsangxing laughed. He heard that Qin Yun and Xian Rujing were eaten by Long Bei, but he did not care. He knows that it is not true. Long Tsangxing and Long Bei met. They became as close as friends. Long Bei asked, Little guy, have you finished refining those formation flags? Long Tsangxing shook his head and said, "Not yet. It will take more than 10 days. I came here this time to tell you some news, I just learned about it." Qin Yun and Long Bei looked at each other and then looked at Long Tsangxing. Long Tsangxing said in deep voice, "Immortal dragon old ancestor Long Inkuan suddenly appeared. Because too many things have happened in Dragon King Manor, he had no choice but to come out." Long Bei said, "Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect want to control Dragon King Manor. Long Inkuan has no choice but to come out and take charge. This is very normal." Long Inkuan is the name of immortal dragon old ancestor. Long Tsangxing nodded and said, "After Long Inkuan appeared, he actually supported Heavenly Dragon Sect. So now Heavenly Dragon Sect is in control. Dragon King Manor's people are fence-sitters, they stand with whichever side has the upper hand. Xian Domain Dragon Sect also have no choice but to obey Heavenly Dragon Sect's arrangement." Long Bei coldly groaned and said, "Long Inkuan and Heavenly Dragon Sect's relationship is not shallow, of course he will stand with Heavenly Dragon Sect. Senior, they are planning to enter Bloody Evil Dragon Cave again. At that time, they will make you walk in front." Long Tsangxing's face is filled with anger when speaking about this matter. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are frowning. These people still want to enter the Bloody Evil Dragon Cave? There was an underground world beneath the Bloody Evil Dragon Cave. There shouldn't be anything good inside. Long Bei also flew into a rage and said, "They want me to be the Pathfinder?" Qin Yun had scouted the path before. Although it was safe along the way, he did not wish to do it a second time. Long Tsangxing said, "Long Inkuan said that the Devil Dragon is about to come out and we need everyone to go suppress it." "I am not going," Long Bei said with sneer. "Nobody can threaten me now. Senior, they should be coming to discuss this matter with you very soon. You have to stall for as much time as possible until I finish refining the flag formation," Long Tsangxing said. Long Bei nodded his head. After Long Tsangxing finished speaking, he hastily left. Long Bei has belly full of anger because those people want him to throw away his life. The Devil Dragon below the Bloody Evil Dragon Cave is very strong and very savage. Even Long Inkuan is not necessarily that guy's match. Long Bei said, "Long Inkuan wants me to go down. He wants to take advantage of the time I am fighting with the Devil Dragon to launch a sneak attack and kill me and the Devil Dragon together." Xian Rujing cursed in low voice. "This Long Inkuan is truly malicious, worthy of being nurtured by Heavenly Dragon Sect. We must capture that bastard." Long Bei sighed. "If we fight here, our opponent will not only be Long Inkuan, that immortal dragon, there will also be Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect people. They will not be easy to deal with." Qin Yun said, "How about I go call Jian family people over? They are preparing to attack the Dragon King Manor at any moment." Long Bei has hated the Dragon King Manor for a very long time. He wants nothing more than to destroy it. After thinking about it, he said, "Can you really call Jian family people over?" "I can, but I don't know how long it will take. I also don't know whether or not there are Jian family people inside the Dragon King City." Qin Yun said, "You go and give it a try. I can stall for time," Long Bei said. Qin Yun nodded and said, "I will go at once." Xian Rujing lightly yelled, "I will also go." Qin Yun and Xian Rujing concealed themselves and quietly left the Nine-Dragon Devil Prison and returned to Long Yutsang's residence. Since Long Yutsang was injured last time, he has not left the residence. Every day he is eating and drinking in the living room, waiting for Qin Yun's good news. Not long after Long Tsangxing returned, Qin Yun also returned. Long Yutsang looked at Qin Yun and Xian Rujing and immediately revealed a smile on his face. "I knew nothing would happen to you. Did you come back to find Grandpa? I will immediately call him out." Qin Yun nodded. Long Yutsang promptly went to call Long Tsangxing out. Long Tsangxing just returned and found out that Qin Yun has also returned. He promptly came out of the secret room. Grandpa, I want to call Jian family people over to attack the Dragon King Manor. What do you think? Qin Yun directly asked after seeing Long Tsangxing. Long Tsangxing also knows Qin Yun's true identity, but he doesn't mind. After all, they are on the same side. Alright. But you must guarantee that me, Yu Tsang and Senior Long Bei will not be harmed. If we succeed, Dragon King Manor's 9-dragon immortal origin will belong to us, Long Tsangxing said. No problem. Qin Yun's target is Long Yingkuan, the immortal dragon. Soon after, Qin Yun asked Long Yutsang whether or not there are Jian family people inside the Dragon King city. Long Yutsang promptly prepared a carriage, and brought Qin Yun and Xian Rujing out of the Dragon King Manor. It is already night after they left the Dragon King Manor. Long Yutsang's carriage quickly rushed towards the Dragon Tree Pavilion. On the way, Long Yutsang used a sound transmission conch to contact Bai Keqian, asking her to invite Jian family people to the Dragon Tree Pavilion. Jian family has always wanted to attack the Dragon King city, so they must have arranged many people here. After Qin Yun and the others arrived at the Dragon Tree Pavilion, they promptly entered a secret room and saw Jian family people. This is a tall and thin old man. He is wearing white clothes. He is dressed very elegantly. His name is Jian Langyuan. He learned from Bai Keqian that Qin Yun is here and promptly rushed over. Qin Yun's fame is very great in Proud Star State and Soaring Dragon State. And Jian family also attaches great importance to Qin Yun. Because not only Jian Shitian spoke, even the 7-sword old ancestors gave Qin Yun very high evaluation. Especially when Qin Yun destroyed the Weilong Manor. He displayed great talent in inscription and soul refining, causing Jian family experts to attach great importance to him. Long Yutsang, Bai Keqian and Xian Rujing left the secret room to let Qin Yun and Jian Langyuan discuss in secret. Jian Langyuan is a martial emperor. He has been in the Dragon King city for many years. He knows many things that have happened in the Dragon King city. Now that he saw Qin Yun and Long Yutsang's good relationship, he is somewhat amazed. Little brother Qin, Long Yutsang is not doing well inside the Dragon King Manor. Both grandfather and grandson are being pushed aside. And now you have good relationship with him. Could it be that you have smoothly infiltrated the Dragon King Manor? Jian Langyuan asked. Indeed. If there is internal strife inside the Dragon King Manor, can Jian family alliance attack? Qin Yun said. It depends on the degree of internal strife. Jian Langyuan is slightly startled in his heart and said, Xian Domain Dragon Sect and Heavenly Dragon Sect are fighting? Qin Yun laughed. Not at all. It is much more intense than that. The 2 immortal dragons inside the Dragon King Manor might start fighting. Jian Langyuan's heart fiercely jumped after hearing this. He said, if this is truly the case, then it is the best time for us to attack the Dragon King Manor. Qin Yun said, roughly half a month later. Jian Langyuan nodded. All right, I will report back. As for the specifics, they will make their own arrangements. In short, when there is a battle between 2 dragons inside the Dragon King Manor, it will be our time to attack. You must come at that time. This is a very good opportunity to defeat Long family. Qin Yun said, if we succeed, we will be able to attack the Xian domain within a few years. Jian Langyuan said with smile, most of the powerful factions collapse because of internal strife. Our Jian family will certainly seize this opportunity. Then I will return to the Dragon King Manor first. When the time comes, it will be up to you. Qin Yun said. Nighttime, Qin Yun and Xian Rujing sat in Long Yutsang's carriage and returned to the Dragon King Manor. After returning to the Dragon King Manor, Qin Yun brought along Xian Rujing and quietly returned to the 9th floor of 9 Dragon Devil Prison. That place is the safest. Xian Rujing is sitting on a blanket and said, Qin Yun, quickly come and cultivate with me. There is still half a month left. we will improve as much as we can in this period of time. Qin Yun took out a Regent Origin stone and sat in front of Xian Rujing. He looked at the very large Regent Origin stone and said with frown, "If I carve some runes on it, will it make the Regent Origin stone release energy even faster?" Xian Rujing said, "I have never heard of such a method." Qin Yun said with smile, "Just because you have never heard of it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I will give it a try." He took out mental resonance Xian pen, thought for a bit, then began releasing blood spirit power to carve runes on the Regent Origin stone's surface. "Is it really useful? Don't waste time," Xian Rujing said. "Let's give it a try. In any case, there are only 10+ days left. If it succeeds, maybe you will advance by leaps and bounds in these 10+ days?" Qin Yun said with smile. The rune he is carving on the Regent Origin stone is called 9 Condensation Sun Rune. It is a formidable sun rune that can gather 9 types of sun energy. Xian Rujing also doesn't have much hope. She is absorbing the Regent Origin stone's energy on her own. Qin Yun is very experienced in carving 9 Condensation Sun Rune. After half a day, he finished carving. The moment he finished, the Regent Origin stone slightly trembled and then unceasingly rushed out with energy. "Rujing, let's cultivate together." Qin Yun hastily used devouring power to absorb the energy madly rushing out of the Regent Origin stone into his body. Then he grabbed Xian Rujing's hand. Chapter 878 878 Chapter 878 Confrontation of two dragons. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are somewhat flustered and excited. They entered into joint cultivation state. The energy rushing out of the Regent Origin stone is like a huge wave roaring and violently surging within their bodies. If not for their bodies being very strong, they would not be able to endure this level of energy. Xian Rujing excitedly said, "You really have some skill. What exactly did you do?" Qin Yun said with smile, "I carved a sun rune on the Regent Origin stone. I did not expect to succeed on the first try. Now that we are absorbing energy from the Regent Origin stone, the speed is much faster than before, adding on the two of us cultivating together. I feel that it is very likely that we will break through in half a month." Xian Rujing thought about how she will soon become peak martial king, and became even more excited. "Don't be so sure." Qin Yun laughed. "How about this, you take charge of controlling the energy, I will go carve runes." Xian Rujing took the sealed Regent Origin stone from Qin Yun's hand and began absorbing the energy inside it. She is in charge of the energy circulation, letting it flow back and forth between her and Qin Yun's body. This way, Qin Yun can divide his attention to carving runes. He is not directly carving sun runes on the Regent Origin stone. Rather, he is carving on beast skin and then moving the 9 condensing sun runes on the beast skin onto the Regent Origin stone. He is very proficient in this move because he had used it in the previous inscription competition and he succeeded very smoothly. Xian Rujing looks at Qin Yun in disbelief. She heard before that Qin Yun has 2 inscription spirits and is also a soul refining master. His talent is dreadful to the point of heaven defying. The main reason why Heavenly Dragon Sect came down from Immortal Desolate is because of Qin Yun. Apart from this, Xian Rujing also knows that Qin Yun is hiding a very rare sacred sun spirit vein. "Qin Yun, before I thought that Heavenly Dragon Sect mustered a large force to come down from Immortal Desolate for you. Now it seems like their decision was correct." Xian Rujing now has a new understanding of Qin Yun. "Why, you won't sell me outright?" Qin Yun said with smile. "I am now on the same boat as you." Xian Rujing coldly groaned and said, "And I only do things that are beneficial to me. There is no benefit in cooperating with Heavenly Dragon Sect. Instead, they want to take advantage of me." Heavenly Dragon Sect also treated Xian Rujing coldly because of Long Chuanwu's matter. Otherwise, Xian Rujing would not have been tortured by Xian Domain Dragon Sect. "Rujing, Are there many people with sacred sun spirit vein in the immortal desolate? Qin Yun asked. Of course not many, they are all protected by the major powers, they are all very precious people. Xian Rujing said, let's not talk about this, you should earnestly carve runes. Xian Rujing is tightly holding Qin Yun's hand and transferring energy into Qin Yun's body. She is strengthening the energy through Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Qin Yun doesn't need to worry about cultivation, Xian Rujing will take care of everything, he only needs to carve runes. After the seal on the Regent Origin stones were broken, the speed at which they released energy has increased by a lot. Moreover, their absorption speed is also very fast. In less than 3 hours, all the Regent Origin stones have been completely absorbed. If it was in the past, it would have been enough for them to absorb for several days. Qin Yun has not finished carving runes, but Xian Rujing is not worried at all. She also took advantage of this time to circulate Sun and Moon Heart Sutra and adjust the energy inside their bodies. Xian Rujing also doesn't know why. She feels that she and Qin Yun have a kind of indescribable connection, it is as if the power inside their bodies have fused into one. Xian Rujing thought about it and felt that it is because she is wearing the slave governing collar. After another 3 to 4 hours, Qin Yun feels that the energy he absorbed before has been perfectly digested and absorbed. This is mainly because Xian Rujing is using Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to guide the energy. Qin Yun has now finished carving the 9 condensation sun rune. He quickly moved it onto the Regent Origin stone. This time he is using Xian Rujing's Regent Origin stone. After the 9 condensation sun rune was carved on the Regent Origin stone, it is as if the seal on it has been lifted and the energy inside frantically rushed out. Xian Rujing is very happy to see Qin Yun succeed again. Next, they are doing the same as before. Xian Rujing is in charge of guiding the energy and Qin Yun is in charge of carving 9 condensation sun rune. More than 10 days passed by. Xian Rujing consumed more than 30 Regent Origin stones and finally became a peak stage martial king. Xian Dao Core's 4th transformation has become Xian King Dao Core. It can release a kind of Xian King power. Xian Rujing waved her palm and released a faint white-colored energy. It has a very dreadful power. Qin Yun is just watching from the side. He feels flustered in his heart. Qin Yun, you are not my opponent now. Xian Rujing very proudly said with smile. Rujing, you used Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to cultivate with me, I also benefited. Qin Yun faintly smiled. Don't think that only you can improve. Xian Rujing said in amazement. What is your cultivation now? Qin Yun ate the King Energy Origin pill before and entered mid-stage Martial King. Now, after cultivating with Xian Rujing and freeloading more than 30 Regent Origin stones, he is also on the verge of breakthrough. I am almost late-stage Martial King. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. You continue cultivating with me for a few more days, I should be able to break through. Xian Rujing has been stuck at late-stage Martial King for a very long time. She relied on more than 30 Regent Origin stones to break through the bottleneck. Therefore, she felt that even though she could break through, Qin Yun should still be a bit lacking. She really did not expect that he would also break through soon. Seeing that you carved sun runes, I will pay for the Regent Origin stones. Xian Rujing groaned. I am not a stingy woman. Many thanks, big sister Rujing. Qin Yun said with smile. Within these 10 days, many people came to find Long Bei. They want him to go to the evil blood dragon cave. Long Bei found an excuse to delay until Long Tsangxing's flag formation is complete. Half a month passed by, Long Tsangxing still has not arrived. This caused Long Bei to feel somewhat anxious. Qin Yun actually hopes to stall for some time because he might be able to break through in 2 to 3 days. Xian Rujing's cultivation is higher than Qin Yun's, so when she uses Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, she left a lot of energy inside Qin Yun's body. She did not need too much for herself. 2 days passed by. Long Tsangxing finally arrived. He arrived and saw Qin Yun and Xian Rujing cultivating together. You guys slowly talk, we are at the crucial point of cultivation. Qin Yun greeted Long Tsangxing from far away. Long Tsangxing said, Yu Tsang has already left the Dragon King Manor. Long Yingkuan is also impatient. He might come here in 2 days. Long Bei said, Give the flag formation to Qin Yun. I will go deal with the immortal dragon Long Yingkuan, you deal with the other guys. As long as we can hold on for a period of time and wait for Jian family people to arrive, it will be a lot easier. Long Tsangxing took out the flag formation and placed it beside Qin Yun. Qin Yun said, Stall for a few more days, I will soon enter late stage martial king realm. Long Tsangxing said in amazement, So fast? I remember that you were initial stage martial king or mid-stage before. Qin Yun said with smile, I have king energy origin pills and regent origin stones, of course I will be fast. Long Bei said, Rest assured we will stall for as much time as possible. Long Bei and Long Tsangxing began discussing the matter of battle. Although Long Bei and Long Yingkuan are immortal dragons, the strongest immortal power within their bodies is sealed to prevent them from being sucked into immortal desolate. Therefore, they are only a bit stronger than half-immortals, but they are both dragons, their flesh and power are much stronger than humans. Long Tsangxing cultivates heavenly dragon art and can transform into a dragon. He is also a very strong half-immortal. Moreover, he is also an inscription master. He has many formidable Dao and King talismans. Even if he is besieged, he can hold on for a period of time. Grandfather, Dragon King Manor's great formation is very strong. Jian family people might be blocked outside. Qin Yun said, Don't worry about this. I have been in charge of maintaining Dragon King Manor's great formation. I have already made preparations. Long Tsangxing said with smile. If Jian family people can truly kill their way in, even if Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect join hands, they won't be able to resist. In the blink of an eye, 2 days passed by. Qin Yun still has not broken through. Xian Rujing is also somewhat anxious. Because more and more people are arriving outside Nine Dragon Devil Prison these past 2 days. They are waiting for Long Bei to come out and then go to the bloody evil dragon cave. Especially today, the number of people is the highest. Clearly they have decided to set out today. Suddenly a stern voice filled with might arrived. Long Bei, why are you being so wishy-washy? It has been more than half a month. Are you still not done with your trivial matters? You must remember your status in Dragon King Manor. The one speaking is Dragon King Manor's immortal dragon old ancestor, Long Yingkuan. Long Bei coldly replied, Long Yingkuan, don't think I don't know that you want me to go to the bloody evil dragon cave to throw away my life. I will go sooner or later, why are you so anxious? After I go to the bloody evil dragon cave, I might not be able to return alive. Before I die, I will do some things I want to do. What is wrong with that? Long Bei's words caused Dragon King Manor's half-immortals to panic, because they have never seen Long Bei contradict Long Yingkuan like this. Long Bei, even if you die, you will still be Dragon King Manor's servant. No matter what, you have no leeway to haggle. Long Yingkuan said in cold voice. Long Yingkuan, I, Long Bei, am going to die anyways. Are you not afraid that I will fight you to the death? Long Bei is standing at the entrance, looking down from above. His eyes are filled with killing intent. Those half-immortals, martial emperors and martial kings below saw Long Bei's cold gaze and fear welled up in their hearts. It is as if death is approaching. Brazen servant! Manor Master is not here. He cannot control you through the beast governing collar, so you think you can do whatever you want? Long Yingkuan immediately furiously shouted. His deep and muffled voice vibrated and shook the entire Nine Dragon Devil prison. Chapter 879. Chaotic battle in Dragon King Manor. Dragon King Manor, Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect's people are all extremely frightened. They promptly soared to the sky and flew away. The might produced by the battle between two immortal dragons is hard to imagine. This Dragon King Manor will surely be destroyed. Long Bay is far away from Nine Dragon Devil Prison and arrived in the sky above an open space. A white-haired old man is following behind him. It is Long Inquan. Long Bay, you should just obediently be a slave. You were born to be a slave. Long Inquan shouted in a stern voice, then waved his palm. A majestic berserk dragon power whistled and trembled in the sky. Incomparably dreadful might ferociously attacked the ground. Hoo! Long Inquan raised his hand and released a dreadful gale pressure that destroyed a large number of houses. Long Bay let out a furious dragon roar and attacked with his palm. The entire Dragon King Manor immediately burst into commotion. Everyone left their residences one after another and flew to the sky. Dragon King Manor's people saw that the two dragons are truly fighting and felt unspeakable bitterness. Heavenly Dragon Sect's people said with grave expression, "This is very troublesome." Long Bay lost control and Old Ancestor Immortal Dragon also lost control. If they fight, Dragon King Manor will be finished. Xian Domain Dragon Sect's people coldly groaned and said, "At worst we can just rebuild. What we need to worry about is that they must not get injured, especially Old Ancestor Immortal Dragon. He is our Long family's only reliance." An old man from Dragon King Manor said with sigh, "Could it be that Long Bay's beast governing collar has lost its effect? Logically speaking, he should not be able to resist us, otherwise his soul would be tortured by the collar. They have indeed miscalculated all of this." Even Long Inquan, an immortal dragon, did not expect that Long Bay would actually dare to fight him. Now that they are fighting, Long Inquan will not stop because he was slapped by Long Bay just now. These dragons love face the most. After being slapped in front of a group of juniors, he will not let this matter rest. Long Tsangxing saw the commotion outside and said to Qin Yun and Xian Rujing, "I will go out for a bit, let Jian family people come in." Qin Yun is also somewhat worried because he still has not broken through. He also doesn't know when he will break through. He only feels that it will happen soon. Not long after Long Tsangxing left, the noise outside became louder and louder. Turns out Long Bay wanted to get rid of those Heavenly Dragon Sect people, but he did not succeed. There were some half-immortals among them, and they dodged very quickly. Moreover, Long Inquan was blocking them. Long Bay and Long Tsangxing also told Qin Yun not to be in a rush to set up the formation and to wait for the best opportunity. This was because there was only one set of the dragon sealing formation. If they missed the best opportunity and it was destroyed, their plan would fail. Qin Yun also plans to wait until he reaches late-stage Martial King before going out to set up the formation. This way, it will be much easier for him to succeed. Suddenly a Dragon King Manor half-immortal furiously roared, "Jian family people have arrived. Who opened the barrier to let them in? Old Ancestor Immortal Dragon, quickly kill Long Bay and help us resist Jian family." "Long Bay, did you collude with the Jian family?" Dragon King Manor's group of Long family people turned pale with fright. They looked at the direction where the sword energy is soaring. The Heavenly Dragon Sect's old man sneered and said, "Are you afraid? Wasn't it just a bunch of sword cultivators? It's not a big deal." Xian Domain Dragon Sect's old man also said with sneer, "Your Dragon King Manor has been too cowardly these days. Seeing Jian family people, you are actually scared to this extent." "That's right, it's great that the Jian family is here. We will deal with them here." Not only Jian family people have arrived, Jian family allies have arrived as well, for example Bao Changshu, Old Mother Yun Yao and other powerful half-immortals. Jian Shitian is flying at the forefront. His hand is firmly holding his origin sword. His sword aura is coming from very far away. It is as if a burst of gale has arrived. What is dreadful are the 7 old men behind Jian Shirtian. They are Jian family's strongest existences, 7 sword-old ancestors. When Long Tsangxing let them in, he communicated with Jian Shirtian, telling them not to accidentally injure Long Bei. Jian Shirtian also knows that they are Qin Yun's spies in the Dragon King Manor, so he agreed to Long Tsangxing's request. Originally it was only Long Bei and Long Inkuan, 2 dragons fighting. But now, Jian family and a large group of half-immortals have joined in. Many people outside the Dragon King Manor have left one after another. Especially those people who spent a lot of purple crystal coins to buy houses in the vicinity, they all feel like they are being screwed by a dog. Fighting inside the Dragon King Manor will surely destroy the vicinity. They will suffer disastrous losses. Those who are willing to spend a lot of money to buy houses all think that the Dragon King City is very stable and nothing big will happen. But now, not only 2 dragons are fighting, there are also a large group of half-immortals who are tired of living fighting. There are also Jian family sword cultivators. Long Yutsang's Dragon Tree Pavilion is very peculiar. It is a magic tool. Therefore, he took it and ran. He did not suffer any loss. He is just like other people, floating on the sky, looking at the Dragon King Manor from far away, watching the show. Boss, I wonder if Jian family can win or not. If Jian family wins, then Spirit Desolate Ordinary Realm will belong to Jian family. Bai Kexian said. Jian family will surely win. After Jian family wins, they can develop for a period of time and then attack Xian domain. Long Yutsang said with smile. At that time, I will also sneak in and take a look. Long family has been arranged in the ordinary realm to stir up chaos, not letting any faction dominate. This way, no faction in the ordinary realm will be able to attack Xian domain. Divine Inscription Palace's people saw that Jian family suddenly attacked and very smoothly attacked the Dragon King Manor. They promptly notified other Divine Inscription Palace. Sects and aristocratic families of other great states saw Jian family attacking the Dragon King Manor so powerfully, they don't dare to help Long family because they don't want to be eliminated by Jian family in the future. Originally, many sects and aristocratic families were very optimistic about Long family. After all, they have immortal dragons. But who would have thought that Long family's 2 formidable immortal dragons would actually start fighting? Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are inside the 9-dragon devil prison. They cannot see the situation outside with their own eyes, but they know that the battle situation is very intense. Burst of noise, it is as if the heaven and earth will explode. Qin Yun has now entered Dao Core transformation state. He will soon enter 3rd transformation state. Xian Rujing said, Qin Yun, can you break through on your own? I will go out and see if I can help. Xian Rujing flew out of the 9-dragon devil prison and began looking for martial emperors as her targets. She directly unleashed heavenly tribulation divine ability power and summoned dreadful tribulation thunder. Xian Rujing's targets are precisely those martial emperors from Xian domain dragon sect. Isn't that Xian Rujing? She must have been eaten by Long Bei. Someone cried out in alarm. That bastard Long Bei did not eat Xian Rujing and Long Yutian. Long Tsangxing is also participating in the battle. Could it be that he let Jian family people in? Wretched bastard, everyone join hands and quickly kill Long Tsangxing. A large group of people immediately exploded in anger and began roaring in succession. Jian family people are very powerful, even though their numbers are few. They are pressuring Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect people to the point that they are unable to breathe. The battle outside is very intense. It looks like the heaven and earth is collapsing. Burst of loud sound shook people's hearts. More than half of the Dragon King Manor has been razed to the ground in just a short period of time. Dragon King Manor's people are extremely distressed. The ones fighting the most intensely are Long Bei and Long Inkuan. After all, they are the strongest here. Even though they are suppressing their cultivation, their power is not something half-immortals can compare to. Jian family sword cultivators are also sweeping away Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sects, half-immortals. Even though martial emperors and martial kings are not as strong as half-immortals, they are the most numerous and they are fighting very intensely. Especially Xian Rujing's Tribulation Thunder, it is dreadful to the extreme. As long as she wants, she can release a large amount of Tribulation Thunder. Even martial emperors feel pain all over their body when they are hit by the Tribulation Thunder. Some of the weaker martial kings were blasted into dregs in just a few strikes. Xian Rujing, you came with our Heavenly Dragon Sect. You are one of us, we should not have any enmity with you, right? A Heavenly Dragon Sect martial emperor yelled. Without your tacit consent, would those Xian Domain Dragon Sect bastards allow their younger generation to attack me? Xian Rujing furiously said, Your Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect bastards will all die today. Everyone knows that Xian Rujing was captured and beaten up by a few women. The anger in her heart has not dissipated yet. After Xian Rujing became peak martial king, her strength became even more dreadful. She can summon up to 3 Snow Woman Immortals. Moreover, these 3 Snow Woman Immortals are as strong as peak martial kings. They can also release Tribulation Thunder containing ice and snow power. Just Xian Rujing alone can make a large group of martial kings cover their heads and flee like rats. Jian family people are endlessly apprehensive seeing such dreadful woman. They saw her attack Long family people and treated her as one of their own. Roar. Long Bei let out a furious roar from the distance. His body flickered with golden light and dropped to the ground. Long Bei's body exploded out with a huge light ball that flickered with golden light. It brought along a shock wave and intimidated everyone inside the Dragon King Manor, causing them to stop fighting. Long Bei lost. Long Inquan proudly shouted, Jian family scoundrels, accept your death. Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect people loudly roared in excitement after hearing that Long Bei lost. At this time, Long Inquan also rushed towards the 7 strongest 7-sword old ancestors. Jian family's 7-sword old ancestors are very calm. They promptly brandished their swords to meet Long Inquan. Just as Long Inquan rushed over, Long Tsangxing also rushed over and used his dragon claw to send Long Inquan flying. Xian Domain Dragon Sect and Heavenly Dragon Sect have many half-immortals. They are all very strong. They need the 7-sword old ancestors to deal with them. Otherwise, if the 7-sword old ancestors are defeated, Jian family will lose completely. Let me deal with them, you guys deal with other people. Long Tsangxing finished speaking and rushed towards Long Inquan. You bastard! Long Inquan furiously said, I should have crippled you back then. Stupid dragon, if you did not purge our faction back then, my parents and ancestors would not have died. Long Tsangxing coldly shouted, Today I will make you pay the price. You are just a human, even if you transformed into a dragon, you can't compare to a real dragon. You want to make me pay the price with just you? Even Long Bei could not injure me. Long Inquan said with sneer. Chapter 880. 880 Chapter 880 Immortal Dragon True Body Long Inquan is an immortal dragon, but in order to not be sucked into the immortal desolate, he sealed his strongest immortal power. This kind of cultivation sealing secret technique is very brilliant. It caused his true immortal power to be completely suppressed and unable to be released. This way, Long Inquan's battle strength is also very limited. After fighting with Long Bei, he was injured and his power was also affected. Long Tsangxing's hands turned into dragon claws. He approached Long Inquan and ferociously clawed, releasing very strong dragon power. It must be said that after Long Tsangxing transformed into a dragon, he unleashed his peak power and is very dreadful. He can actually fight evenly with an immortal dragon. Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect half-immortals are fighting with Jian family half-immortals. Because Jian family has fewer people, they can resist, otherwise they would have already been killed. They looked at Long Inquan's side, seeing how powerful Long Tsangxing is. They are filled with envy and jealousy. If their Long family half-immortals could transform into dragons, they would definitely be able to fight against sword cultivators. Now they are dealing with one sword cultivator in 2 or 3. Qin Yun is also at the critical moment of breakthrough. He is very anxious in his heart because the battle outside is very intense and he wants to go out and help. Qin Yun is alone in the 9th floor of 9 Dragon Devil Prison. While cultivating, he suddenly sensed an aura. It is Long Bei's aura. Long Bei has returned. His injuries are very serious, but he can still quietly run back. Continue cultivating. The opportunity to set up the formation is not here yet. Long Bei said. Qin Yun's eyes are still closed. He did not say anything. Long Bei said again. Long Tsangxing can continue to stall for some time. This guy Long Inquan's strength far exceeds my estimation. Long Bei and Long Tsangxing discussed before, if everything goes smoothly, they will take turns to fight Long Inquan and consume his power. This way they can find a better opportunity to set up the formation. Now Long Tsangxing is fighting Long Inquan with all his might. Although he can exchange blows, he is being hit by Long Inquan from time to time. If this goes on, he won't be able to hold on for long. Long Bei and Long Tsangxing discussed this matter because they feel that the dragon sealing great formation's power is not enough. They are worried that it won't be able to suppress a formidable immortal dragon. Therefore, they decided to consume Long Inquan's energy first and then let Qin Yun set up the formation when the time is right. Long Tsangxing's power was limited. He could not resist for long and was beaten to the ground by Long Inquan. His body was covered with injuries. You puny things, go to hell. Long Inquan looked at the Jian family's 7-sword old ancestors and furiously roared. He shot out a golden dragon image and flew out. Also at this time, Long Bei suddenly leaped out and let out a roar. Sound wave rushed out and scattered the golden dragon image. Long Bei, you can still stand up? Fine, I will tear you to shreds. Long Inquan coldly shouted and rushed towards Long Bei. The 2 celestial dragons were both fighting in human form. They flew towards each other and slammed their palms against each other. Immediately, the weather changed and a wild gale sprang up. Wild lightning gales swept out, destroying many of the surrounding buildings. Boom, boom, boom. Long Bei and Long Inquan fought fiercely again and directly fought outside the Dragon King Manor. The people outside the Dragon King City have already distanced themselves from the Dragon King Manor. This is also a wise decision. Because many tall buildings outside the Dragon King Manor have been destroyed by Long Bei and Long Inquan's battle and turned into ruins. Now, not only the people near the Dragon King Manor, all the people in the Dragon King City are distancing themselves from the Dragon King Manor. Many people who are afraid of death even went out of the city to watch the battle so as not to be affected. Long Bei dragged his heavily injured body and fought Long Inquan with all his might. He is doing his utmost to exhaust Long Inquan's power. Long Inquan is also incomparably angry. He originally thought that after displaying his formidable power, Long Bei would surrender to him. But Long Bei did not. He is still fighting with the determination to die. Even though Long Inquan is very strong, most of his power has been sealed. It will not be easy for him to kill Long Bei with his current power. After all, Long Bei is an immortal dragon. His body is very strong. Without formidable immortal power, it will be very difficult to completely destroy an immortal dragon's body. Long Bei bought some time. Long Tsangxing, who was injured earlier, also recovered a lot. He promptly soared to the sky and flew towards Long Bei, wanting to join hands with him. Hoo. After Long Tsangxing flew over, he raised his hand and threw a series of talismans at Long Inquan. After those talismans flew over, they transformed into all kind of berserk power, flame, thunder and lightning, gale, vibration, and so on. Long Tsangxing threw out king talismans. He is not willing to use them. Long Inquan was hit by a series of king talismans and is in a very difficult situation. He let out a furious roar and clawed at Long Tsangxing from the void. A huge dragon claw appeared. It is like a huge mountain and ferociously pressed down on Long Tsangxing. Long Tsangxing promptly dodged and avoided the huge dragon claw. After the illusory dragon claw landed on the ground, it directly smashed a building into pieces. The power poured into the ground and exploded, creating a huge crater that was thousands of meters wide. A large amount of soil splashed everywhere along with the berserk energy wave. All the buildings in the Dragon King City have been destroyed by the energy wave and berserk vibration power, causing them to sway left and right. The flourishing Dragon King City is beginning to be destroyed. Jian family people also relaxed a lot. At least they don't need to face that immortal dragon. Although they don't have many people on their side, sword cultivators are very strong. They can fight 1 against 3. They are slowly suppressing Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect people. As long as this immortal dragon Long Inquan doesn't participate in the battle, their Jian family will obtain the final victory. Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect people were very disdainful towards Jian family before. They even mocked Dragon King Manor's people for being afraid of sword cultivators. Now that they are facing formidable sword cultivators, they understand the fear of Dragon King Manor's people. We only need to hold on and wait for old ancestor Immortal Dragon to kill Long Bei and Long Tsangxing, then he will join us and Jian family will be defeated. A Xian Domain Dragon Sect elder said. He can only place all his hopes on old ancestor Immortal Dragon. A Heavenly Dragon Sect elder said to Jian Shirtian with sneer. If your Jian family is smart, you should quickly scram out of the Dragon King City. You also saw, Long Bei and Long Tsangxing joined hands but were still beaten by old ancestor Immortal Dragon. Once those 2 bastards are defeated, you guys will undoubtedly die. Jian Shirtian laughed loudly and said, Even if we die, we will drag you down with us. This opportunity is very important for Jian family. Even if Long Bei and Long Tsangxing are defeated, the 7-sword old ancestors will continue to stall the immortal dragon, allowing them to kill even more Long family half-immortals and weaken Long family's overall strength. Xian Rujing is also very anxious looking at this scene because Long Bei and Long Tsangxing are having a very hard time. If this continues, they will most likely be killed. Even though Long Inquan is injured and consumed a lot of power, he still looks very strong. 9 Dragon Devil Prison is very sturdy, it has not been destroyed, it is clearly a very dreadful magic tool. At the 9th floor, Qin Yun's body overflowed with burst of Xian Dao power containing King energy. His body suddenly shook and Xian Dao power rushed out, the nether sun within his body also started revolving. 3rd transformation, my nether sun's energy has successfully evolved, my Xian Dao power has strengthened by a lot. Qin Yun stood up and sensed the formidable Xian Dao power and King energy within his body. His heart immediately surged with emotions. He promptly turned his body transparent and flew out of the 9 Dragon Devil Prison. After he came out, he followed Long Bei and Long Tsangxing's aura. When Qin Yun arrived, he saw Long Bei and Long Tsangxing's injuries. Even though they are jointly attacking Long Inquan, they are being beaten up from time to time. Must use Lion King Cannon. Qin Yun flew out of Dragon King Manor and took out Lion King Cannon. Then he sent sound transmission to Long Bei and Long Tsangxing, telling them to prepare to dodge. Qin Yun, don't use formation yet, now is not the time, the energy inside that bastard's body is still very strong. Long Bei sent sound transmission to Qin Yun. Alright, I will use half-immortal life crystal to attack him. Be careful and dodge. Qin Yun said. Long Bei and Long Tsangxing are extremely shocked to hear that Qin Yun is going to use half-immortal life crystal. They promptly changed their fighting style and moved far away from Long Inquan. Seeing Long Bei and Long Tsangxing running away, the furious Long Inquan did not chase them. Because Long Inquan wants to protect Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sects, half-immortals. If they are all killed by Jian family, he will be left alone and will not be able to resist Jian family. Qin Yun saw Long Inquan flying towards Dragon King Manor and promptly shot out a half-immortal life crystal cannonball. Under the taboo ghost town, with Lan Suyao's help, he killed a group of half-immortals and collected some half-immortal life crystals. Boom! The half-immortal life crystal shot out like a light beam and accurately hit Long Inquan. Long Inquan let out a loud roar and was sent flying by the explosion. A large area outside the Dragon King Manor has been destroyed by the half-immortal life crystal. It was originally in ruins, but now there is no more ruins. It has turned into a 10,000-meter wide huge crater. The spectators on the sky turned pale with fright when they saw a huge crater appear inside the Dragon King city. Boom! Qin Yun continued to lock onto Long Inquan and shot out half-immortal life crystals in succession. Long Bei and Long Tsangxing are extremely shocked. They thought that Qin Yun would be finished with one shot. They did not expect him to shoot out so many half-immortal life crystals in succession. Qin Yun has so many half-immortal life crystals. This is what caused Long Bei and Long Tsangxing to be shocked the most. Long Inquan is also dizzy and disoriented after being hit by so many half-immortal life crystals. Even though he has formidable immortal dragon body, he is now riddled with scars. He can still fly in the sky. This can be considered very awesome. Dragon King City is also filled with huge craters. Those ruined houses have been blown away to God knows where. Yellow soil and sand are flying everywhere. Half-immortal life crystals are gone. We can set up the formation. Qin Yun took out the flag formation and sent sound transmission to Long Bei and Long Tsangxing. Just as Qin Yun is about to go over, Long Inquan's body suddenly burst out with golden light. A dragon roar filled with might shook the heaven and earth. The sky has been enveloped by golden cloud. Long Inquan transformed into a huge golden dragon. His entire body flickered with golden light and floated above the Dragon King city. Chapter 881. Release a restriction. Qin Yun suddenly realized that he underestimated Long Inquan's strength. He also realized why Long Bei didn't let him set up the formation. Long Inquan, who had reverted to his true form, possessed terrifying strength. Long Inquan was hit by Qin Yun's life crystals just now, but he still has a very strong aura. Qin Yun, leave the rest to me. Look for an opportunity. I will beat him back to human form. At that time he will be completely exhausted. Long Bei said. After he finished speaking, Long Bei also loudly roared. His body flickered with blue rays of light and shot towards the sky. Not long after, another blue dragon appeared in the sky. Long Bei also revealed his true body, turned into a huge dragon. The two huge dragons hovered in the sky, covering more than half of Dragon King City. The people below, even the group of half-immortals, are extremely frightened. They are shocked by the spectacular scene in the sky. Qin Yun took out some flag arrays and concentrated his mind and strength, waiting to take action. After Long Bei revealed his true body, his power also became very frightening. Long Tsangxing arrived beside Qin Yun and said in low voice, "Senior Long Bei wants to break through the limit and use the strongest immortal dragon power." Qin Yun said in astonishment, "Really? If he were to break the restriction, wouldn't he be sucked into the immortal desolate?" Long Tsangxing nodded his head. "He discussed with me before, this is also his worst-case scenario." Sure enough, the blue dragon in the sky was getting stronger and stronger. Roar! Long Bei bellowed. The earth suddenly trembled. The huge city wall surrounding the Dragon King city was also breached after the dragon roar appeared. Long Bei's power suddenly increased by a large margin. All the half-immortals below are extremely afraid because this is the true power of an immortal dragon. Long Bei broke through the restriction and released his strongest immortal dragon power. Long Bei, ah Long Bei! You idiot! With your strength, you will only become someone else's slave after entering Immortal Desolate. Ha ha ha! Long Inquan laughed loudly and said, "Boom!" Long Bei's body flickered with blue light. His huge dragon tail ferociously swept towards Long Inquan. It is like a huge axe chopping down and landed on Long Inquan's head. Long Inquan's mountain-like dragon head was ruthlessly swept down by the huge and powerful dragon tail. The entire dragon head heavily fell to the ground, like a falling mountain, smashing the ground into pieces, up and down, rolling up bursts of sand and dust. The space around Long Bei also began fluctuating. He is about to be sucked into the Immortal Desolate. Bang bang bang! Long Bei unceasingly sprayed out energy balls from his mouth. They transformed into blue energy balls and shot towards Long Inquan. That is the strongest immortal dragon power. After Long Inquan was hit, his body split open and he roared repeatedly. Long Bei, what is the point of injuring me? Do you know that you've harmed those guys from the Jian family? They're dead meat. Long Inquan's huge dragon body flickered with golden light, then gradually shrank and turned into human form. Long Inquan's body is now covered with cuts and bruises. Just now, Long Inquan was attacked by Long Bei using his strongest power. Even though he suffered no small injuries, he doesn't feel anything because Long Bei was defeated in this battle. Long Bei scrammed to Immortal Desolate. Ha ha ha! Heavenly Dragon Sex half-immortal laughed heartily. This is great. Without Long Bei's obstruction, Old Ancestor Immortal Dragon will be able to kill those Jian family trash. Old Ancestor Immortal Dragon, quickly capture those Jian family people. Old Ancestor Immortal Dragon, Jian family people are very nutritious, they are very suitable for you to eat. Long Bei's huge dragon body also gradually merged into the fluctuating space and disappeared without a trace. Just as Long Inquan is feeling proud, he suddenly sensed a formidable power binding him. He carefully looked all around and discovered that many formation flags are surrounding him. Qin Yun secretly set up formation flags just now. Now he opened the dragon sealing great formation. The formation flags created a very formidable power and sealed the formidable dragon power within Long Inquan's body. Long Tsangxing saw Qin Yun take action and immediately became vigilant all around to prevent other people from coming over to destroy the formation. Long Inquan furiously said, "What kind of scoundrel is this? You actually secretly set up a dragon sealing great formation? Quickly scram out for me." Qin Yun did not appear. Instead he is secretly controlling the dragon sealing great formation to suppress Long Inquan's power. Qin Yun, who is controlling the dragon sealing great formation, is incomparably apprehensive. Because Long Inquan's formidable dragon power is very difficult to suppress. If Long Bei and Long Tsangxing did not have the foresight to exhaust Long Inquan's power, just the dragon sealing great formation would not have been enough. Even now, Qin Yun is feeling great pressure. It will surely succeed. Qin Yun released his strongest mental power through Nether Moon to control the dragon sealing great formation's power to the extreme. Dozens of formation flags floated around and surrounded Long Inquan. The formation flags fluttered and flickered with 9-colored light, shooting out multicolored light beams towards Long Inquan and suppressing his formidable dragon power. "Scoundrel, you think you can seal me like this? You are too naive." Long Inquan furiously roared. His body began expanding and flickering with golden light. Ling Yuner yelled, "He is transforming into a dragon!" After Long Inquan transforms into a dragon, his power will be very valiant. it will be even more difficult to suppress him. Qin Yun let out a muffled groan and released Nether Moon mental power to the extreme. Nether Moon mental power poured into all the formation flags, releasing 9 colored light beams that became even stronger. The formation flags are also operating very smoothly, releasing 9 colored light beams that suddenly turned into 9 colored lightning and bombarded Long Inquan's body. Long Inquan wants to transform into a dragon, but the dragon power within his body is being attacked again and again, causing his transformation to fail. As Long Inquan's dragon power is being suppressed, his roar became smaller and smaller. Those Long family people in the distance are extremely terrified looking at this scene. Especially the people from Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect. They all heard about the Dragon Sealing Great Formation. It is a special formation used to suppress dragon power. But Dragon Sealing Great Formation is very rare in Immortal Desolate. Very few people have mastered it. It has been lost for a long time. It is only recorded in ancient texts. But now, it has appeared in the Spirit Desolate. Qin Yun also let out a sigh of relief. The Dragon Sealing Great Formation is indeed dreadful. While suppressing Long Inquan, it can be considered smooth, and Long Inquan has not broken through. Now Long Inquan is still unceasingly struggling. He wants to use the dragon power within his body to break through the Dragon Sealing Great Formation's power, but no matter what he does, he cannot succeed. Long Inquan continued to furiously roar. "Scoundrel, quickly scram out for me! I want to see who exactly is using the Dragon Sealing Great Formation." Qin Yun naturally won't come out to avoid being plotted against by Long Inquan. Now Long Inquan has not been completely sealed. The dragon power within his body is very strong. After all, he is an immortal dragon. Long Inquan's dragon power is very valiant. It is not that easy to suppress. "Long Tsangxing, who exactly are you colluding with?" Long Inquan furiously roared. "Long Inquan, before you die, take a good look at this world. You have committed so many evil deeds, yet you can still live for so many years. You should be content," Long Tsangxing said in cold voice. His body is covered with injuries. He is floating in the sky and looking down at Long Inquan. Long Inquan bellowed and shot out a golden light towards Long Inquan. "Humph!" Long Tsangxing coldly snorted and scattered the golden light with a palm strike. Long Inquan roared, "Quickly come and save me!" The people from the Heavenly Dragon Sect and the Xian Domain Dragon Sect in the distance, they were all extremely anxious. Of course they heard Long Inquan's cry for help, but they are powerless. 2 of their half-immortals have been killed. They can't even protect themselves, let alone save Long Inquan. "You bunch of trash, hurry up and save me. Otherwise you will all be finished." Long Inquan furiously roared, "Come here and destroy those flags. Martial emperors and martial kings go." An old man from the Long family shouted. There were also many martial emperors and martial kings hiding in the dark. They were all from the Heavenly Dragon Sect, Xian Domain Dragon Sect, and Long family. They were all very afraid of death and did not dare to come out. Moreover, seeing that their half-immortal is in a disadvantageous position, they have already holed up. "Martial emperors and martial kings, come out now. So long as they destroy those formation flags, I can escape. As long as someone participates in saving me, I will accept him as my disciple in the future and teach him dragon transformation technique." Long Inquan's voice reverberated throughout the desolate Dragon King city. Hearing there are benefits, more than 10 martial kings and martial emperors flew over. Boom boom boom. Xian Rujing promptly rushed over, released Heavenly Tribulation Divine Ability, and shot down Dreadful Tribulation Thunder, forcing those martial kings and martial emperors to retreat. Martial emperors are still fine, they can still resist the Dreadful Tribulation Thunder. But martial kings are no good. Even peak martial kings, as long as they are hit by Tribulation Thunder, they will explode like watermelons. Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect people saw how strong Xian Rujing's tribulation thunder is and realized that she has broken through. They all furiously cursed Long Bei, because earlier Long Bei said that he ate Xian Rujing and that Baldy. They suspect that the person controlling the formation from the dark is that Baldy. Although Jian Shitian did not see Qin Yun, he can guess that Qin Yun is controlling the dragon sealing great formation from the dark. This made him feel a lot more relaxed. All the martial kings who wanted to save Long Inquan are dead. Only a few martial emperors managed to block the tribulation thunder and fled in distress. Finally they were torn to pieces by Long Tsangxing. Long Inquan suddenly howled with laughter and said, "Fine! You bunch of trash cannot save me, I can only save myself. I will kill you bunch of trash and Jian family people together." Not good, he is also going to release restriction? After Long Bei broke through restriction just now, he can still release very strong power. If Long Inquan also breaks through restriction, his power will be even stronger, enough to kill us all. Jian family people, quickly stop, don't fight. Quickly run for your lives, we must run together, we must live. Jian family idiots, did you not hear? Long Inquan is going to release his immortal dragon power, quickly stop and run. Heavenly Dragon Sect and Xian Domain Dragon Sect people immediately became extremely terrified and shouted loudly at Jian family people. Jian family people have a tacit understanding and are unceasingly attacking. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.